Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the AM and the PM podcast. I'm Melina.
I'm Ariel.
And today we have the most wonderful, spectacular, cute,
Yes.
bushy face. Like, she's so shiny, sparkly, and glowy. One of
Her
our
nails
friends.
always eat.
Show us your nails. Wow.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Period.
It really is giving rich auntie energy. So today we are joined by the richest, baddest, coolest auntie.
Yes. Who is a real life auntie? Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, it's just, real life, manifestation of what I've internalized as my life's goal. So it's just what I do.
Mm.
So I am. So I
Mm.
mhm.
And we love her.
We love her. So you
Um,
guys are like truly blessed, honored, and privileged to have her to listen to. She's hilarious.
Absolutely.
I sent Sasu a picture the other day. I have this like question a day journal. I think I've told you about
Mm-hmm.
it. And it's like a 5-year journal. So I'm now
Mm-hmm.
on like the third line. So it'll have like 2022, 2023, 2024. And the
Yeah.
question was like, who is the funniest person you know? And 3 years in a row, the answer is Sasu.
Yep. And she deserves it. She deserves that title because it's true.
She does. It's just like undefeated champ. Like I laughed out loud when I saw
I just, I actually don't know what goes on in my head. It's a very scary place, but clearly it's fun. Clearly it is a fun time. So yeah, I'm honored. Honored.
So, today we're going to be talking a little bit about the premiere of The Bachelorette and the like very entertaining circus dumpster fire that is Love Island.
Yes.
So I'm going to toss it over to my co-host Ariel so we can
Catch
talk
it.
about the season premiere of The Bachelorette.
Yes. So if you don't know, Jen, who was on, wow, I blinked on his name, Joey's season. She is the Bachelorette this year. She's the first Asian Bachelorette, which is pretty historic, pretty awesome. She's Vietnamese, I'm pretty sure.
Mhm.
And so her season has started. It premiered on Monday. And I'm just gonna give my overall thoughts and then we can kind of go in there. So I noticed immediately that they didn't give like the full live audience experience like for this season. Like usually there's like the premiere is usually like 2 or 3 hours long and like we're like waiting to like skip through the live audience because we don't care. But like this year they were like they completely cut that out and just started right away. Which I was like, interesting, but okay. I didn't know Jen was from Boston. I generally thought she was like from California or something. Because like when they went on that surfing date on Joy season, I was like, oh yeah, she must live in a spot where they do that all the time. No, did not know she was from Boston. So we see her meet, I think it's 25 guys. I think it's 25 men. Yeah. So, you want me to just go through the men and we can give our opinions? Do you remember any of them?
Well, some, not all, but I also want to say they also were not at the Bachelor Mansion.
Yes, they changed the house.
Which does anybody know why? Like, I didn't even look this up,
I have
but
no
I wonder
idea.
why.
Well, they don't always have the Bachelorette at the Bachelor Mansion,
They don't?
do they?
They
I'm
have,
pretty they most of the seasons they have. I know when it was like maybe it was Michelle or something because of COVID, they like
yeah,
changed the location, but like most of the time they do have it at the Bachelor Mansion.
yeah. It was still very pretty, but I was like, I wonder why.
Mhm.
Mm.
Because it's like that, I'm pretty sure the Bachelor Mansion is like somebody's home or like a property owned by somebody
Oh, is it?
or something
Girl,
like
Oh,
I
that.
wouldn't have known that.
it is very
Actually,
extravagant. So
I
let me
might be
check.
spreading false information. I don't know for a
Mhm.
I
fact.
just thought like ABC owned it.
At
So,
this point, they should. There's plenty
yeah.
of Twitter.
All right.
Mm. But I also wonder if they did that just because of like what happens at the end, like when they reveal they're going someplace else, like right away. So
Um,
there's no reason
maybe.
to get the whole mansion shebangled out if like you're leaving right away.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm excited for them to go to Australia. But yeah, brief thoughts. It's funny because when she was like, "Welcome to Boston," I was like, I literally was just there. I had just come from school. It's like where she exactly was. And I was like, wow, me and Jen were in the same spot.
True.
And before we talk about the men, and just to give like a sneak peek, I feel like this preview is like largely underwhelming. I will say one thing that I thought was really cool. One, I think it's awesome, like the first Asian Bachelorette. That's super cool. Representation,
Hmm.
important.
Hmm.
And it was so cool to see her speaking in another language with her mom on camera.
Yeah.
Sasu. I thought that was really cute and really wholesome and like
Hmm.
good representation. I was like, I relate to that feeling,
Yeah.
not Asian, like that if I were the Bachelorette, that would be me.
Hmm.
So I thought that was cute. But Sasu,
For
did
sure.
you?
I think also like seeing, I mean, I'm pretty sure it was completely staged and not, like handed moment, but like the little scene where she like talked to those girls quote unquote randomly.
Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was the espionage, but wherever it was in Boston. And I was like, oh my gosh, you know me, but obviously they have a light beat on and cameras are showing at their face. And I'm like,
Right.
no way, yeah, I'm signing no NDAs or anything like that. So
Hmm.
I thought that was really cute, and I think that that does happen to her in real life, I'm sure, because being the first Asian
Yeah.
bachelorette is pretty amazing. Just because I know that oftentimes um, Asian women aren't like put into the forefront of romance in the sense of like them being like the prize for the most part and having a very vocal opinion and showing who they are. So I'm going to see how she acts and how she makes those decisions during the season. Kind of like Tessa, we saw during the previews for the full season how like the guys actually go ape crazy
Hmm.
at each other and probably at her at some point. But I'm excited to see how she handles those situations as well. But
Yeah.
it was cute. It was really cute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Asians in general on the show, I feel like have been really poorly represented. It's usually like
Yes.
there's like maybe one, maybe
Hmm.
two on like a good year, you know.
Yeah.
Usually like they go home night one or night two,
Hmm.
or don't really have like much of a like an arc. Obviously, they're real people, but like shown on the show. So I think that that's really cool. And she's adorable. I really liked her
Yeah.
on Joey's season. I was honestly surprised she didn't go farther because I thought they had really good chemistry
Hmm.
in the beginning. But Joey had chemistry with everybody. He could have chemistry with a leaf that blows by. So,
Literally, like, oh my God, yeah, you guys are yeah. Wow.
Hmm.
Mhm.
all right. So let's talk about the
Yeah.
show.
So I took notes. So I took note of who came out of the limo each time.
Mhm.
So the first guy that came out of the limo was Marcus. He is 31. He's the veteran. I think he had the story about how he was like injured or he witnessed a lot of stuff. Um, and then yeah, generally kind of connected with him. She liked him from like the jump. To me, I was like, he's not really a standout to me, but if you like him, cool. Um, yeah, that was Marcus. So then we had Marvin, who was 28 and the event planner. He's the one that came out and he was like speaking French. He started speaking French to her. It was very bad. It was very bad French, and I
Was
couldn't do
it?
it.
It
It was so
It
bad.
didn't seem like she understood either.
It sounded like when you took French in high school and like an American trying really hard to sound
was
French.
for sure.
And
Why
I
was
was
she
like,
speaking French to
Or like
her?
even someone from a francophone country that their actual language that they know growing up is not French, and they're like, "Oh, I can speak French. It's no problem."
hmm,
And then
hmm.
they come out and say it, and it's just like you actually will get lost in France.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure. So
Does
yeah,
genuinely
Melina's so
speak
confused.
French?
I don't know.
what's the
I
block?
think he was trying to be like sensual or something because she was like,
He's
"Oh, you
Vietnamese.
French?" I don't know. I don't
What
know.
Vietnam? What they call that for French? So that was the
Were
actually.
they?
I think so.
Wow.
Cause isn't banh mi's are French and they're made on baguettes, which I think not my French, sorry, Vietnamese, I believe.
Uh-huh.
And they're made
They
on.
are.
Oh, listen. Disclaimer, I just be saying stuff as well. So that could also be not correct. But I think they're not colonized, but I think they have a lot of like French influences sometimes in their
Oh.
food. I'll have to check that later.
I
But
might take someone do a quick Google so we can fact check that.
Yeah,
But
go ahead.
it was just so odd though, because it seemed like she didn't understand what he was saying. So
yeah,
she was just standing there while he's
like
speaking
she could
English.
tell he was speaking French, but she was just like, "Oh." But
Yeah.
she seemed to kind of like him too. So I was like, "Okay, girl."
I was correct.
Cool.
But also, why was French in Vietnam? That's
I
also
don't
an
know.
I don't know.
um,
Next was Sam N. I didn't get what he does for work, but he's 25. He was the one whose family's from Iran or Iran, sorry. And he said that he was the one that was like, I'm a love virgin. And I thought that was kind of lame. Sorry. I was like,
those lashes.
yes.
Mm,
The
mm.
one he was just like, yeah, I've never been in love. I'm a love virgin. I was like, okay.
Yeah.
So,
I thought that was weird, especially because he preferred.
oh, he curls his lashes. That's
Yes,
the
that's why I
one.
said the whole lashes. He literally had an eyelash curler in like his little montage, and I'm like, what are you? Is there no thing expecting? Because what do you mean? You never.
Daniel was watching with me and he was like, he looked like he could be on The Chosen. I was like, okay. I was like,
He's
okay.
not wrong.
He's
He has
not
He's
wrong.
not.
very emotional eyes, so I feel like that would play well in The Chosen.
Yeah.
Wow.
He's not wrong. He's very like pretty. He's like a pretty.
Yeah,
Mhm.
he's a pretty man.
Yeah. I thought that the way that he opened was very odd, especially because he prefaced with like the I'm a virgin, which like is gonna evoke some thoughts, and I have lots to
Right.
think about because I feel like the Bachelor and Bachelorette franchise, specifically the
Mhm.
Bachelorette, has
Yeah.
done that a lot. Like every once in a while, they're like, let's pick
Hmm.
things up and bring on a virgin and make it a huge
Yeah.
deal. And it's like
Make
just
it a huge
stop.
deal.
Stop
Yeah.
being weird. Um, Also, I guess a question I have for you guys is like, do you think that's like a red flag or like a yellow flag or a point of concern? Because he's okay, I'm looking and he's 25. I have their pictures pulled up because I don't remember them all by name.
Hmm. Hmm.
Um, if someone that you were dating or talking to, and again, in the context of like they're trying to get married at the end of the show or engaged,
Yeah.
and they are telling you like I've never been in love, like what do you think about how concerning that is?
I think it's a semi-pink flag.
Pink.
Yeah, like it's not all the way red, but it's like on its way there. Like I'm like,
Mhm.
what do you mean you've never
Yeah.
been in love? Like you've dated people, or were they not long term? If it was long term, why did you not love them? Like that brings up a lot of questions of like, what do you mean by that?
Mhm.
Like, I need you to be a little more specific. Because if you've never been in love, I guess like if you've never dated anyone, I could be like, okay, that makes sense. If you've never dated your whole life, then you've never been in love. But like if you've dated people or had long-term relationships, what happened? Like, what's the tea?
No, I agree. I feel like I don't know. It's like love, especially as like humans with emotions. So it's like second nature for a lot of people. For you to say that like you have never loved someone or been in love or haven't had that like love at first sight, or even like I don't know. I just never been in love is so insane to me. I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I just love love. I'm a love girl. I had a types, but I'm just like I can't imagine not having loved someone at all, even if they haven't dated. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Even like
I,
a crush. Sometimes crushes can feel like
right.
you're in love with somebody.
I
Yeah.
just I feel like saying love virgin. I know we all need like, a storyline. I get it. But I feel like that was not the proper one to go with
Yeah.
for someone who is on a show for love.
Mm.
I just so what experience do you have? How do you know it's real? Like how do you
Right.
build those trusts when you get further down the line? Like how do you haven't been in a situation, so what do you know about like how to reciprocate my feelings in this sense? So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Also, going on a reality TV show about dating to figure that out. Hmm. Hmm.
I would not be. I just know.
No. I think I just need to hear more of the story too. I agree with what
Yeah.
you both said because it's like in my head, I was like, are you saying that you've just like hooked up with people your whole life, or is
Right.
the girl out there crying because she thought you guys were dating and you're now saying I've never been in love? Like, what is the tea?
Yeah.
Like what's
Have you
Yeah.
been focused on your career,
mm-hmm.
Um, so I just need to hear how it's described because I'm like, this could be like really icky. Like what you're saying,
Yeah,
Hmm.
I don't like it at
Yeah.
all.
agreed.
So we'll see.
Yeah. Next was Grant. He's 30. He's a day trader. He's like the really tall one, the like basketball playing one. That's his face. He's the one
The one who
that started
sang?
the no, yes, and beatboxed. He beatboxed and sang.
See,
And I was like, the beatboxing would have sent me out of here. Like she was laughing, but I would have laughed like, please stop. I want you to stop. So bad.
So bad. And then also, there was no scene that showed him like wiping his hands off of his hands. So he just spitting on his pants. Like, he just spitting in his hands and went to go grab her hands. I said, "Where is
Yeah.
the sanitization?" I was like, ugh.
Also,
Ugh. He's so
also, I wrote in my note was not the Dan Scott storyline because he was talking about how in college he was like set to go
please, please, please,
professional. And he's like, and then I injured my
please.
knee. And I was like, not Dan Scott.
It's funny.
No,
Yeah,
actually,
I texted Ariel and Satsu and I was like, people should not sing on the show because it just
No,
every
especially if you
season.
can't sing. I was like, the singing is a no. Please stop.
Yeah. Just and they're always like, "Oh my God, it's so good." It's so bad. It's
like,
so
why are you
not
lying to
good.
your face? Oh my gosh, please sing them.
Oh, Lord.
But he's
Next
hot.
was Sam. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, just saying that he's hot. So
Yeah.
that's it's
Next was Sam M. He's 27, a contractor. He's cute. Jen liked him a lot.
Yeah.
Like I noticed her eyes were like following him when he was walking away. He was the first shot o'clock guy he wanted to do. I was like, this is dumb. It kind of ruined it for me because he came out like, I was like, oh, he's cute. And then he like came up and was like, you know what time it is? Shot o'clock. I was like, oh,
Mhm.
okay. But then he's the one with he had the cheating fiance. Um, he just gives me like deep Southern core values, like deep Southern Christian values to me. Like just how he was like talking about things, I was like, he's giving me like he wants someone that's like very much like conservative, doesn't do much, like just kind of stays in her lane type beat.
Mhm.
So, but she really likes him. So
Yeah.
I gave him a green highlight. I had a little system. The men that I feel like she's like really feeling, they get a green highlight. So
Yeah.
I think he's like on in her top like
Yeah.
five.
Mm,
Um,
we'll see how he. Sometimes
yeah.
people have weird intros and they start and you're like, but then you end up being like, oh, they're actually kind of okay.
Yeah, like they kind of surprise you.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, I agree.
Next was Thomas N. Now I really like him. He's like he's the like I think he's the only Asian guy. I think. Is he the only Asian guy? So Thomas N is a saint is the guy that was like both of their last names are Nguyen. So he was like both of our parents are from Vietnam. We have these things
Right.
in common. He
Mhm.
was so adorable. I love his
Okay.
energy. He gives me like sweet puppy vibes. He just was like so like cheerful and bubbly when he came to talk to her. Daniel was like, if she doesn't choose him, I'm gonna be upset. I was like, that's fair. He was so cute. I
Yeah.
like him.
Mhm.
Um, Brendan is 30. He's a real estate broker. Oh, he was the hot pepper guy. I was like, no.
I don't remember him.
He just ate like a hot pepper and was like, I like spicy things. And I was like, okay. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't.
he was
Yeah.
eliminated. So that's why you probably don't remember him.
Oh, fair
Nah.
enough. Mm-mm.
Yeah. Next was Dakota. He was the guy with the wine, the sommelier guy. He
Oh
gave me,
yes, the spy
yeah.
assassin guy.
Yes.
He looks like a spy
He literally
assassin.
had, like shaved blonde, shaved
Yes,
head. I was
he
like,
looked like he'd
yeah,
be a villain in a
yeah,
James on Ocean's 11
yeah.
situation. I
Yes.
I want that for him actually after the show. I want someone to put him into one of his films. I don't care if he can't do a backflip. I just want to see him on a motorcycle with a gun in his hand. I just feel like that would just complete this for me.
That's
But
his
I don't
energy
really
for
know.
sure.
But yes.
Kevin, 25. Only thing I wrote down was skis. He came on skis. That was, yeah. He was also eliminated. So,
Yeah, I don't remember him
uh,
either.
Spencer, 30. He was the really tall man who takes pictures of pets. That's all
Oh
I wrote down. He was super tall and he takes pictures of animals.
yeah,
That's
a little weird.
that's yeah, he's a little odd.
Cool.
Just a little bit. Yeah.
Brian, 33, aesthetics. He was another shot o'clock guy, but
Mm.
his energy is just too much. I'm like, he was just doing like a lot with trying to be like charismatic, and I was like, I don't like
Hmm.
you're doing a lot. He's the one that ended up having beef with, we'll get to it when we get to the cocktail party. But next was Matt. I called him Ginger Locks. That was the one with the red locks. That's really all I remember about him. So,
He looks like a
yeah.
poet.
Oh, he was another. He was another shot guy, another shot o'clock man.
Was it actual shot or was it like a
Yes.
ginger shot?
The,
'Cause I was like,
hmm?
I don't know if it was actual like shot. 'Cause I'm like, at one point I was concerned for Jenny because I was like, you're Lord. But then I was like, maybe that shot he gave her goes orange, I think. So I was like,
Um,
maybe it was like a wellness shot. I hope so because
maybe. We
my
never saw her talk to him again, so I don't know. We'll never know. Austin, 28. He had the fire extinguisher. That's all I wrote down. Again, a lot of these men were just giving like, I don't
mm-hmm.
like your faces are very much like, yeah, that's how it was watching. Like, I don't remember
I'm
who
like,
he,
where did he
I don't even remember what he looks like. Like,
white?
probably, yeah.
Yes,
He has
it's
a
correct
mullet,
because I
I
see
think.
it.
Yeah, he's a
His
mullet.
face. Wait, it's something I wanted to say quickly is I saw a map of like where all the contestants are from this year, like on the United States,
Oh,
well, and also like
Hmm.
part of Canada because some of them are Canadian.
Hmm.
And there are a lot of them from California, and none of them were from Boston. And I was like, I don't know if maybe she indicated like I don't want to live here, but I thought that was
Right.
very odd because usually they try to have like at least like a person or two from
Someone, yeah,
in your area. Maybe you're not Boston, but like Massachusetts.
right.
And it's not uncommon for people from Massachusetts to be on the show. So,
mm.
yeah.
Yeah, I wonder if because she's gonna be a PA, she's more like willing to move wherever the wind blows at the
Yeah.
end
Yeah,
because you can just pick up, else you get the license, sure, pick up and go wherever you want to. So maybe that's it. But that isn't a good catch. I didn't notice that.
yeah. I didn't know that.
Mhm.
Next.
Next was Ricky, 28. He was the pharmaceutical rep. That was all I wrote. I said no, is immediately. He was,
Oh yeah.
he's just mm.
Mhm.
Thomas A. Oh, or Tomas A. He was the one that came with the puppies. He was the puppy man. It was adorable. I loved those puppies. They were so cute. He was cute too, but the puppies were cuter.
Very
Uh,
much.
he's a physiotherapist. Something about his energy, Daniel was like, he's gonna cheat on her. And I was like, what?
Daniel,
I
please.
don't
Not
know. I
good.
don't know. Something about his energy. I think it's because he was like coming in with the puppies and trying to seem like he was like, a nice guy or something.
Please.
But I don't know. Maybe Daniel read something that I missed, but
He came in with a puppy and Daniel said, and I took that.
Mm.
next was Jonathan, 27, creative director. He was the stretcher guy, the guy that came with his face wrapped up and his
Oh,
butt cheeks were out.
I didn't even like the thing is that I didn't even see his face afterwards or before. So I'm like I didn't look at what he looked like. So I'm just like I just went along the whole episode. Just like, oh,
Hmm.
he could
Yeah.
be butt ugly, but he is not. He is
He's
very
not. He's handsome.
out.
It was so dumb though. I hated it so much. I hated that plot point.
I just I just the butt cheeks were out. I just that was the
Yeah, I
too
was
weird.
like, okay, we're
You
committing a
wear
little too much
underwear.
to the
You wear
bit.
underwear in hospital. So I don't know what the thought
Like
process was.
that's like public exposure. Like put your butt
Yeah.
away. What if
Mhm.
like no. L.
Just
He needs to redeem himself after that because it was a bad
No,
start.
for sure.
crazy. Next was Aaron, 29, aerospace engineer. He showed up on a motorcycle. He wants to be a pilot. He's Noah's twin brother,
Yes.
which I was like, huh? He
Mm-hmm.
was like, yeah, my brother was on this show. And I was like, who is he talking about? And they showed Noah. I was like, huh? This is not making sense to me. I'm sorry. They also just don't look alike. They're very much fraternal, but I was like, you guys look nothing alike to me.
Yeah.
I feel like it looks more like Abby than Noah. I also pulled up photos of the guys because I also have no, I don't recall what it was like.
Hmm.
I'm looking at it looks more like Abby than Noah. But then also there's an influencer, I'm sure both of you know, Bachelor Data, and she like pulled it up that it's like she does the statistics of like all of, like the contestants and bachelors and bachelorettes stats on not my camera. Please. There you go. Um, all the contestants and bachelor and bachelorettes and like their either the screen time, their follower counts before after each episode and all that good stuff, and kind of like their risk level, just this as well, which is I don't know how to do the formulas, but the risk level of them being sent home or kept on or like winning, etc.
Hmm.
And she posted like his face next to Noah's. I'm like, I just feel like they didn't say that Noah had a twin before, like on his
No.
season or in Bachelor in Paradise. Like there was no mention of it at all. I'm just like, where you just spawned out of nothing. Where did you come from? Where did you actually come
I'm
from?
like, are you really twins or are you just saying that? You
Uh, At
know?
this point, like I'm actually like I'm like, what?
No,
That
Noah
completely
did
makes
post because I follow Noah on Instagram and he posted, I'm pretty sure like a video of it was like a green screen of Aaron in the back. And you know that song that's like Twin, where have you been?
complete.
Yeah.
Nobody knows
Of course
me.
I know that song.
Like, I was like, okay, I like this. I feel like
Mm.
he doesn't seem like, at least this is my perception now. He doesn't seem like he's trying to like nepotism clout ride his
Yeah.
um
Like he wasn't.
maybe a
I mean,
little, maybe a touch, but it's not like I'm only here because of
oh
that.
no,
Right.
no,
Hmm.
no.
I could see him going on Bachelor in Paradise then.
Yeah. I mean,
I get
Jen
a
kind
lot
of
from
was vibing with him a little
Yeah.
bit, and we saw him
it.
in the preview, so
Yeah.
maybe they have a little bit of a connection.
Hmm.
Right. And I do like Noah a lot too.
Hmm.
So if he's anything like Noah, then who knows?
Yeah. Next was Jeremy, 29. I don't like him. Real estate investor. He's the one that said like the penis joke, and I was like,
Was it even a joke or did he just say that it was big? Like that
Yeah.
was that
it
was
was like it was
But with
trying
the
to make it
car,
like
right?
he was
He was
just,
like, I'm
yeah,
not.
the car. He rolled up with the car and then talked about made a penis joke or something, and I was just like, I wrote down he's going home tonight. I was like, no, can't do it.
I
But he
just
didn't.
don't
He kept him, which I'm like, why?
I don't
But
like I don't like it. Please don't come on here and meet a person you've never met before and make weird sexual innuendos. That's like literally sexual harassment. Don't do it. It's so weird.
and you
Stop.
could even see it on her face that she was like,
Because it wasn't funny. It wasn't a
yeah,
joke. There was like no here. I feel like it'd be different if his delivery was a lot better and smoother. But it's just like guy with like no riz coming on the show and practice
yeah,
like comedians. Like
yeah,
I,
immediately.
I just, and he like practices one line. He has a fancy car. I was like, ooh,
Hmm.
fancy car, big, expensive thing, overcompensating. How to make that a joke? And then that's how he came out. And it's like that wasn't. You're not winning the public eye.
No,
There's
no,
no. I hope he redeems himself. I hope he changes and gets better. But I feel like he's on there for some kind of shock and all.
Yeah.
yeah.
It was an L.
We'll see.
Mm-mm. Next was Dylan. He's 24. He's the med student. He was saying how he wanted to become a doctor because of his grandma. He was so cute.
Handsome.
Um,
Also, how do
she,
med students get on the show? How do you have the time?
right. That's a good question.
What?
Mm.
Well, is he an active? I don't know. Is he an active med student? He said he just took the MCAT. So I don't know if he's. I don't recall the process and the
Maybe
steps. So
someone in the comments could let us know how it works if they're a medical student.
please, if
Yeah.
your name is Cynthia here, please comment.
Right. My doctor is in a different arena, so
No, for sure.
in
I'm
Northeast, we're
trying
gonna
to
be
remember.
like, "What you're doing? What?" If I try to go on Bachelor, so,
Imagine. Honestly, one of my goals in life is to meet someone and know someone who's going on The Bachelor or Bachelorette. 'Cause I'm just like, I want to
Yes.
see of what went on after.
Hmm.
I just want to know, like, what.
I'm gonna sign you up.
Absolutely not. Absolutely. One of my, and this will come up later on when we discuss Love Island. One of my like life like mottos or whatever is that I will never go on reality TV because you can never control your narrative. And just alone of the evidence of what I be texting y'all, like I just they can edit me to be a
No.
crazy woman from Florida. Like I like I will be which is not I was born in Broward County and I moved to Boston when I was 5. But so technically I am a Florida woman, but I have been in Massachusetts all my life. But I just say the craziest thing. So I don't know. But it's right. Back to Dylan. So sorry. He was very cute. He was very
Yeah,
adorable. He's
he
very
was.
sweet. Very sweet.
John M is next. He's 25. He was the other med student and he had this step stool. That's all I remember. I said step stool and no. So,
Where's the med student? This year.
Mm.
uh, next was Brett, 28. So there was like a point where they started going really fast with the men, and I was like, wait, I can't catch up. But there was Brett, 28. He's a safety manager. Don't remember him.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Mose, 25. He's the algebra teacher, right?
No.
Um,
Mhm.
Jahan, 28. He had the chess piece.
Chess piece?
Yeah, he brought a chess piece. That's all I remember.
Oh, like chess, as in chess and checkers. I thought you meant like chess
Yes.
piece, like I thought.
No, no, not like chest
Okay.
piece. Like, mhm.
Like
Yeah,
a gun in his
yeah.
pocket. That's what
Right.
I understood.
And he came ready just in case. A glad.
So loud. Like,
How did I miss that?
Um, no. Devin, 28, freight company owner. I thought he had weird energy, but I didn't feel like his comedic energy was funny. But Jen really likes him. She's like, yeah,
yeah.
he reminds me of like Pete Davidson. I was like, okay. Okay, girl.
Those are
Sure.
some big shoes to fill in. Pete Davidson looks physically
I was
and
like,
mentally.
okay.
Right. Okay.
I feel like he'd go far though. For some reason, I just have that sense
Yeah, I think he's in the preview
a
for like
lot.
the
Yeah.
season. Yeah. So then after him, the last man was Hakeem, 29. He's the one that came with like the balloons, like the huge balloon backpack thing. That ended up like popping
Yeah, and getting
for
stuck
like
in a
10
tree.
minutes straight.
Jesus.
Yeah, to me, I wrote down he has chaotic energy, and I was like, I don't think I can. Mm-mm.
I'm gonna be very frank. After I want to say the first medical student, I kept zoning in and out because it was just not
And
giving. When I
that is
zoned
fair.
in, I just saw, I was like, why is the house up on my TV screen? Why are there a bunch of weddings? I was just so confused. And then it just went to like commercial. I'm like, so no one's gonna explain. Got it. No, no, we're fine. I don't know anymore.
No.
There's no bad. Okay, no, no, it's cool. I just feel like zoning. I just feel like going backwards and like rewatching what happened. So I was like, you know what, what'll be, what'll be. It's just the first episode. It's fine. But that
Yeah.
literally sent me because why did you choose that? Why did you?
Yeah.
He
It was
just
Yeah.
real.
meme energy also. Like I think
Mm,
Yes.
always
mm,
he I don't know if it's like it's the way he is or if he's trying to like when people sometimes will like overact on reality, overact,
Hmm.
not overreact on
Hmm.
television so that
Yeah.
they'll be made into like a GIF or like an
Hmm.
audio
mm,
or something.
yeah.
It's kind of the vibe I got from him a little bit. I don't know. I could be wrong.
Mm.
Like he was trying to be
It's
like
just too
seasons like
much.
I feel like if
Justin
you,
or
yeah,
something.
no, no, I agree with that. I think if you go, like, there's no way that you go into your first night with, again, the house from up on your back and think that you're not going to create like some kind of sensation to be
Yeah.
be copied into memes and judged online. So I feel like that probably is a good point. Uh, but again, not the best way, but very memorable though, because again, House from Up is still in my head. I will recall that going through the season.
Yeah. So after she meets all the guys, they go to the cocktail party. So I just really took note of who she spoke to be like, okay, these are probably men that are gonna go far, or we're gonna see more of them in the season. So she talks to Sam M. He's again the deep Southern Christian vibe man.
Mm,
And she really likes him. He's the first guy that she pulls. Talks to him. Then she talks to Spencer, the really tall man who takes the pictures of puppies or whatever. And I just wrote he has like a gentle energy about him. I think after like the nerves of meeting her, he kind of chilled out a little bit. Um, Thomas N, my fave. They have a lot of cultural things in common, similar life stories. Like they were talking about like how their parents like immigrated here and how they had to like overcome a lot of things. And like they both were like, oh my God, that happened to you too. So I thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
I really like them together.
Same.
Um, Austin, she told Austin to streak and he went streaking through the house. Uh, Sam N, eyelash curler man, she spoke to him during the cocktail party and he told her that he had never been in a relationship. I wrote that down in shock. I was like, you've never been in a relationship? So he's the one that's like, I've never been in love. So he's never been in love nor in a relationship. So again, why are you on this show to do that?
I
This
feel
is
like we
serial
could have
dating.
started on like a dating app, like
Like,
You know,
get just one girlfriend. I just feel like that would help a lot.
that should be a
To
you want to jump
prerequisite.
straight into fiance or husband, that's really wild.
Right.
straight in, and like this is like what my one of my gripes about the previous seasons of Bachelor and Bachelorette, mostly Bachelorette because it's mostly the men having this issue of like going onto a show where the end goal is engagement and then not being ready to be engaged to someone. Like what? So what do you come here for? What do you, the
Even
girl's
What are we
first starting
doing?
like line is like, I can't wait to be a wife. So what? So what is
They
this? What?
literally are like, I'm looking for my husband. So what are you doing here?
Oh my gosh.
I
Yeah.
think it's clout. Like I think ultimately that's what it is. It's like
Oh,
I'm
for sure.
Yeah,
still on
yeah.
Bachelor in Paradise so that I can like mess around
Hmm.
and kind of get
Hmm.
sponsor status, which is like at this point, like it's not the Bachelor Nation like market is oversaturated. Like good luck
Yeah,
getting yourself in fame
Hmm.
status or whatever.
You have to really
yeah.
stand out in order to.
That's also true.
Yeah.
Um, Jonathan unwrapped his face. He's handsome. Jen thinks he's
It's
cute.
For him.
Then there was like this dumb thing with like Jeremy and Brian with the car. And like Jeremy was trying to talk to
Yeah.
Jen in the car. And then Brian took his keys and was like trying to take Jen. I was like, this is dumb. I don't care. It was so ridiculous. I was like, they're gonna try to make this a
Mm.
thing, and I already don't care.
Mm.
Yeah, and Jen was just sitting there so uncomfortable. She was like, what is going on? Like, why are they doing this?
Because you also don't know
Devin,
these.
go ahead. Sorry.
I think you also don't know these men, so you don't know like how they react to certain situations. So like
Exactly.
being a woman in a vehicle that actually can move, and there are
Hmm.
two men fighting. I just feel like, get me
Like,
out
where was
before.
security? Was
Right.
security on standby?
Right.
I mean, technically it is recorded and there's video evidence of anything happening, so technically she is
Right.
safe. But like, there's a lot of security, like I said, a lot of security, a lot of safety risks that are called in that. So I definitely empathize with Jen in that moment. I just could not
Yeah. Just ridiculous.
imagine. Mm-hmm.
Um, Devin, aka Pete Davidson, she likes him. They were talking, chatting it up. Jen and Grant played basketball together. They had a little moment where they were playing basketball. She was, shooting. Um, Marcus, they talked again, the veteran guy. She clearly likes him. They're like vibing with each other. And then Sam M, again, Christian values man, got the first impression rose, which I figured. And he was the first kiss. They also kissed.
Yeah,
So
I
that
think she wanted to
was
kiss everybody. And I was like, honestly, I understand. Like
very much so.
she was
Hey
basically
man,
like,
it's a once in a lifetime opportunity.
Okay,
I
You
was just
know?
gonna kiss them all. It's like I respect your hustle. I really do.
no, I'm like, this literally gives me after lots of drinks when she was like, this
I
is really this little thing that's like, I want to kiss somebody tonight. I'm like, Mimi, we're literally in our peak. There's no one else around. It's just me.
whatever. So I like to kiss what? There's only one person I like to kiss nowadays, so
No, for sure.
Period, period, as you
no.
should.
Willingly.
Um, so the rose ceremony happens. So I'm just gonna say who got eliminated because I don't want to go through all the men again. So the people that left were Brendan, the real estate broker that was Hot Pepper Man, Dakota Sommelier, Wine Bottle Man, Skis, Kevin, 25, Matt, aka Ginger Locks, Ricky, the farm rep, Brett, the safety manager, Mose, the algebra teacher.
A lot of people at
So
home.
yeah,
Yeah,
so it was one, two, three, four, It
Isn't
was
it like
five,
six or
6, 7. It was seven.
Okay.
yeah,
7 guys. So now it's down to 18, which
yeah.
I feel like they're gonna try to make this season very short because I'm
Have
like,
to.
if 7 men have already gone, then like she's gonna be cutting people out.
Well,
Hmm.
that kind of like leads into one of the things that I wanted to talk about on the pod, which was like the preview of them bringing on like an ex. Like, what do we
Mm.
think of that? Do we think that that's serious? Do we think like what do we think? Like, what what do we think?
I I don't know because she was saying like the person wants to be on the show or something, like wants to be part of the group at some point, and I'm like, this is just giving when like Nick V came on Caitlyn's season and was like, I want to be on your season. That's what it felt like to me, where I'm like, but just it's just one of her exes. And I don't know if it's gonna be as serious. Like, I'm sure it's gonna cause drama,
No, for
because
sure.
they love a drama, but like I feel like that person isn't gonna end up staying. Like I feel like they're just gonna be like, no.
Yeah, either that or it's not gonna be serious. It's gonna be something stupid uh or like either like it's Joey like coming to
Right,
visit or something,
Imagine.
or it's
right,
like a like an ex from middle school or something and it's like a joke,
right.
you know? I'm just like I can't
Because
imagine.
they love to edit clips together to make it seem like
No,
it's
for
one
sure.
story when it's probably not.
Yeah.
For sure. Yeah, I'm sure it actually is going to be Joey, but I feel like the only way that they would ever make it a serious thing is if he comes on earlier on in the season and like is someone that she actually like still has feelings. So like that's the only thing that would make sense, or like had strong feelings for. So
Hmm.
I don't know will actually be serious, but it probably is Joey, like you said. So there's no, I don't, why,
Just like walk that thread, like 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 someone that you used to date, instead of just contacting you directly, contacts the producers of The Bachelorette, waits until you are the
Right.
Bachelorette to contact the producers to be like, I want to be on the show because I'm in love with her. I have her phone number. I could call her. I am going
Or
to
not
call
even phone
her.
number. You could DM her on Instagram.
Show up to her house. You probably know where she lives. If you
Like,
have an ex, like,
parents. Like you have so many other methods of communication. But I also wonder because I this is another Love Island thing was that um this season and for past couple seasons they've been bringing people from previous seasons come on to the current season, and one of the people that they contacted is currently dating an ex-Islander to come back into the season. So I wonder if it is an actual boyfriend, if the producers themselves like did their like homework and like
mm,
contacted that ex themselves to be like, hey, would you want to come back and rekindle whatever? I just feel like one,
mm-hmm.
why would you? But then two, producers are messy. That is
Because
so
Jen in the clip seems like shaken up, like
right,
at the person being there. Which again, we don't
right.
know if it's exactly that or if they're putting
Mm-hmm,
clips together, but if that were the case, that would make sense why her reaction was that way.
mm-hmm,
if that is what they did, that's messy and I don't like it. Regardless, I'm
Yeah.
like, ew. And
mm-hmm.
then like just the previews of the whole rest of the season and the way that they made it seem like almost like she's not going to choose anybody and walk away.
Mm-hmm.
What
Hmm. But
are
they do that all the time.
They do.
they
They
do?
kind of make it
I
seem
would
like,
Joey.
oh, they're either gonna marry no one or it's just like this big dramatic finale.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, do that with
And
Joey one
usually
day.
seeing them cry at the finales because they sent a person home. That they were just I'm like, oh, they're just upset because they sent someone home.
Or they like pause at the perfect moment to like create like a sound clip and
Mm.
then they just use that and then the rest of the speech is actually like, oh my God, I love you so please pause.
Right,
So
right.
I I'm not also too fussed about that. The clips
Oh,
of the preview were interesting.
Mm.
I also
Yep.
was wondering like I was wondering if there's like a scene where she puts the rose down. And in my head I was like, I wonder if this is just like a reversed clip of her like putting
Right.
the rose up and they
Mm.
just like reversed it to make it look like she was putting the rose
Honestly, I
down.
wouldn't put it past them. They probably do.
It
So,
could be, yeah. Oh my God.
so
Yeah.
final
Yeah, so
thoughts.
we'll see how the season goes. The next
Yeah.
episode, I think, is Monday.
Yeah.
Mhm.
She's cute. I hope she finds love. Um,
Yeah,
Yes.
I'm just
That's actually it.
yeah.
No, for
I
sure.
hope it works out for her.
Hmm. Yeah, even like the clips of like the guys fighting, just like this is such a dumb fight. I don't.
Always.
None of them were like, oh my gosh, call him mama hope. Like none of them were like
It's always the same
no
drama plot
substance.
lines.
Hmm.
This person's not here for the right reasons. You shouldn't trust this person. I'm not gonna be the one to tell you, but like I heard that this person. Okay.
Yeah,
Hate it.
yeah. No, I agree. I think also I've been getting into this one reality TV commentator called Positively Censored on TikTok, and she mentioned that the Bachelor franchise might have some trouble because a lot of their demographics aging out of like the older seasons, all the good stuff, and with the age of Love Island and Are You the One, and all those other like quick perfect match of quick love shows, it's kind of like how are you keeping our attention? How are you making this fresh and new? So I wonder what they're going to change this season. I mean, they're going to change a lot by having them immediately. It's like, don't unpack your bags. You're actually leaving South Australia, right? So I
Mm.
wonder what else is going to be different this season or what else do they have planned? Because they already got rid of Bachelor in Paradise this year, right? That was correct,
That's what
right?
I heard. I'm like, why would you do that? This is my favorite
That's
one.
literally
Hey,
your favorite, like your best one. Like I don't know why you did that. So hopefully they bring it
right.
back.
Bachelor in Paradise isn't on.
No, no.
Well, but it usually premieres after the
Summer.
Bachelorette season.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Oh wait,
But
we are in July though, so
yeah, no, usually it goes Bachelor, Bachelor in Paradise, and Bachelorette, no?
right.
But I
Yeah.
think they're doing the Golden Bachelorette
Yeah.
Right.
in the fall. I'm not trying to
Yeah.
remember what it would be. Yeah, I think that's what it's gonna be. I'm just like, sure, okay, but that could be like a winter break, like a season.
Yeah.
They did not have to. You did not have to replace because what other? Oh, is it either Love Is Blind or I think both. I Love Is Blind and Married at First Sight, they have like literally back to back seasons because they go to
Mhm.
different states. I feel like y'all could have just done that. Y'all could have just shot multiple shows at one time and
Yeah.
like concurrently and just like kept about like handing them out because I don't I need it. I crave Bachelor Paradise. The chaos is my reign.
Yeah. I'm like, if you're gonna axe one of your shows, that is not the one. I love Bachelor Paradise.
Okay, okay. But I also wonder if that decision comes with like the knowledge that their older demographics are kind of aging out and want to see something a little different. So maybe that's was their solution for that. But you also have a new Gen Z, early millennial demographic that's like, okay, well, I have love. So
Yeah.
yeah, those
Well,
are.
speaking of love,
Honestly,
okay.
sorry.
Go.
Just saying, like with Bachelor in Paradise, they could make that one more fun. Like they could put like
Mhm.
games and challenges in there
The
just
literally
to
makes like
make it,
perfect match.
yeah. So
Yeah.
that way it's like entertaining and then we're not just watching people cry on the beach every day. So
Yeah.
yeah, that's weird that they got rid of that.
Yeah.
All right.
But anyway.
So speaking of falling in love in a warm place, let's transition over to Love Island US. I feel like the way I was conceptualizing it earlier when I was in the shower is that we're like at like bachelor's, master's, and doctorate levels of like familiarity with Love Island. So
Mm,
maybe we could just briefly talk about like what is your experience with Love Island. So like I'll say I've watched almost every season of the US except the first one. So I tried watching Love Island US season one and it was just so cringy to me right at the beginning, especially because I feel like the way that they edited it in season one was not good at all. Like it was awkward. They would put weird songs in. I was like, this is so cringy. Like everything about
mm,
this is so cringy. But then I came back for season two and I've seen like maybe one or two seasons of the UK. I tried this year. Boring. Could not keep up.
Mhm.
Um, so that's where I'm at with Love Island, US slash UK. What about you guys? What's your level of familiarity? How about we start with Ariel? Just
yeah,
let's
I've
do
probably
putting our hands
watched it.
together.
Yeah, I probably watched it the least out of the three of us. I watched season 5 of UK like during the
Mhm.
pandemic. Like, was that during the pandemic?
Okay, it was-
Yeah, because it
that
was
was-
definitely after that season was over. So I literally just sat in my house and watched it. And I texted Ceci the whole time while I watched it. and it was amazing. It was a great season. But then I was like, when I saw that like the US was doing it, I was like, I don't want to. I feel like they're not going to do it the way the UK does it because season 5 was really great. So I was like, I'm
Mm,
not interested. And so I didn't ever watch any season except like I would watch periodically last season with like Kayla because she was watching, and then Allie, I think Allie and Janessa came down and they were watching with Kayla, and so I would just sit and watch with them, and I was just like, this is just ridiculous. Like everyone is dumb. Like, why are we freaking out about this? And then this year I didn't watch from the beginning. I was like, I started before Casa. So, and I just felt like because I'd seen so much on Twitter and like TikTok that I was like, I kind of already know what's going on. And so then when we were like, we're going to talk about Love Island, I was like, oh, well, I'll just go catch up. And so now they have inserted their claws into me and I am fully invested. It's weird. Like, I literally have not been this emotionally invested in a reality TV show in a long time.
Yeah.
Like when we go through the episodes, like I cried during a specific like episode. I was like, this is crazy. What's happening?
yeah.
So that's where I'm at with Love Island. And
That's
mm, the final boss.
I have watched every season of the UK and US Love Island. I've also watched a season of Love Island Australia. I tried to watch Love Island France, but that required too many brain cells, so I just caught up on Twitter for that one. There also is, I believe, there's another Love Island in the European country, either Switzerland or Germany. But again, brain cells is not gone. I tried to start Love Island South Africa, but then they said colored, and I said I got about. I got it. That's not. I can't.
Yeah.
Race relations. This is not a color friendship. I can't do it. Can't do it. But I like that. I was trying to get into it because obviously they had a lot more people of color on this than most other Love Islands, but I just, oof, my God, that just threw for a loop, and no one flinched, no one like, oh, whoa, whoa, whoa. So I was like, got it. I don't have the range to watch this. And apparently they're making a Love Out Nigeria. So I'll probably watch that when that comes out because that would just be foolishness.
That will definitely be entertaining.
Foolishness, like actually unfair behavior, but also very, I feel like with all the different Love Islands, there's like different like demographics and different and different in terms of race, ethnicity, also class, if you want to think about that, and also
Hmm.
finances. But I feel like with Nigeria, it's such a theme of like luxury. So I just can't wait for people to call people fools and idiots 24/7. So I do that, but I yeah no I do dabble quite a bit in the
Not a dabble.
multiverse.
Fully immersed.
No,
Right.
fully. Like, and the thing is that I was very happy actually Errol never caught on to Love Island. I will send her my vents and rants pretty later in the show. Has
Yeah.
like this season is definitely the best US season, to be quite honest, that I can think of that in terms of like continuing the drama throughout the season. Um, but I feel like every season there are moments that like just bring the emotions out of you, even though you as a preface. You don't know these people at all. There's no connection to them at all. You can like literally pick up your brain cell, put it on a shelf, and just watch and not have any problems. But like, I don't know. The show just there's something about seeing human emotion play out in real life in real time with these people and like knowing that yeah, some of them might be like a little bit forced, but like for the most part, a lot of people are feeling these things for real. I'm just like, wow,
Yeah.
like claps to you guys, applause, applause. So
for sure.
I don't think I'll ever get tired of watching Love but this season of US, yeah, they made it up. Made
Yeah.
that. Made
I saw someone on TikTok call it like an anthropological study of human behavior.
No, it really is.
No, it
That and
is.
like you could do like sociology, like psychology. You could do all the things watching that.
Yes, which leads me to the disclaimer that I would like to make, which is that we recognize that we don't know any of these people that we are talking about. So just take everything we say with a grain of salt. We are reacting to things that we see. on TV, which is just like a portion of what happens, even though it's a lot of episodes. It's edited, sometimes people act a certain way because they know that they're on camera. We are commenting on the behaviors that we see that are either cool, interesting, problematic, whatever it is. So, yes, I just wanted to make that disclaimer that we don't know these people personally. It's not a personal attack. However, I do think that there is a lot of really interesting, like what Ariel said, like psychological stuff that's going on
Mhm.
this season, and just like stuff about like romance and the way that relationships can be in real life,
Mhm.
that I think
Yeah.
is really interesting. So what I think would be maybe helpful is, do you want to talk about like couples in their arcs or like triangles in their arcs? Rather than like talking about like episode by episode, because I don't think I can keep episodes straight in my head also. Um,
Yeah. I think for me, because I've watched the most recent episodes all this week, that I'm like, oh, I know what happened each episode. But I think I think talking about the couples might be helpful, might
yeah.
be easier.
Yeah, so let's start with something that I don't even want to talk about, but it'll just take like 5 seconds. Kendall and Nicole.
Mm-mm. I know we're being nice and mature on
Are
this.
we? I thought we prefaced that we didn't have
Yes, yes,
okay, so
but we're trying to be as professional as
um
possible. Um,
let me
yeah.
go ahead and start because as someone who has direct connections to a white mom biracial,
Mm.
I and have you know seen the effects. I'm sure all of us have, but directly of like colorism and featureism in real life and in those settings and doing the background. I just feel like I just don't I Kendall mm, I just it, he is the kind of white white mom biracial that and if you know like the tropes that come with that and stereotypes. I feel like he kind of trying to find the nice of it all. He has a lot of internalized racism and featureism and hatred towards his black side. I don't know what his the deal is with his black side and then what his connection with his dad is, but he hasn't posted his family on his Instagram, which is the whole thing. So that could be um, a part of it. And then Nicole is an encourager and enabler in the sense of not really uh, helping him fight back against that. At least what they show us. Um, kind of like the things that he says and his actions and understanding, where those come from, and where those stem from. So that as a couple, as someone not understanding your history and understanding why you are as a person and understanding that fullness, just because they're not immersed in that culture, and then you being free reign to act actual fool. I just you're going home whenever we get a vote. You're actually going home. Thank you so much. I cannot take it anymore. So yeah, I mm.
Yeah, Kendall's behavior, just from what I saw, I didn't watch from the beginning, but like Allie has been catching up. So she's been watching from the beginning and she
Mm,
was telling me like even from the beginning, Kendall has been a big ick. Like
yeah,
from the moment I saw him when I started watching, I was like, no. That like he just I don't even know where to start. It's just like he was just so like instigating and like he acted as if there were like no consequences to his actions. Like he acted like I can just act like this and no one's gonna be upset with me. Like I'm not doing anything wrong. Like being at Casa telling all these guys that are clearly coupled up with these women being like, yeah, just go for it. You're doing everything right. Like you're just do what you want to do. Like do your connection. Duh. And I'm like, do you not think like we're gonna see this later? Like I was like, you guys forgetting movie night exists? Are you forgetting like have you watched the show? Do you not know how this like you think also you're on TV. Like besides movie night, you're on camera. Like people are watching you act like this. And you're just like acting a fool and acting however you want and thinking like it's not a big deal and there's no consequences to your actions. You think everything is a joke and it's funny and it's not. Like I just don't take him seriously, like as a person. Like I'm just like, you're not a real person to me. Like even like Nicole, she's, very pretty, very beautiful. She clearly has not been problematic from what I've seen, but like her not like calling out his behavior was very weird to me because I'm like, if I saw a video of like my partner being like encouraging someone's like bad behavior or whatever, like, or their misconduct, I'd be like, let's talk about that. Why did you do that? Like, what was that? Like,
Mhm.
why are you encouraging them to act like that and thinking that it's a joke? It's not funny. Like, you're out here intentionally like harming someone's relationship for what? Like, because you can? Like, that's weird. He's just very weird energy for me, and I don't like him.
Yeah, especially because like we don't see it as often because it's Love Island, but they do form like platonic friendships. Like the men and the
Mm-hmm.
women form friendships with each other, and you can
Yeah.
see that in like Serena, Kaylor, like they were very hurt watching it
Mm-hmm.
back and being like, "What's wrong with you? Like I thought you were my friend." So it just kind of feels like impulsive, like little kid behavior in a way that's like, this is so, you're an adult.
Yeah.
Please don't
Mhm.
act like that. And then even in like there's that, and then also like we'll get to Serena and Cordell and that whole thing, but like when she was understandably angry at
Mm-hmm.
Cordell and like just the way that he was like talking
Yeah.
down about her and then talking down
Mm-hmm.
to her and like cornering
Yes.
her in the kitchen, not letting her speak, just like speaking in a
Mm-hmm.
way that was like so condescending. It was honestly a really hard watch because it just
Yeah.
felt like I don't know like what the right words are for it, but like this attempt to like I don't know like exert dominance that was just like
Yes.
really
Mm-hmm.
I don't
Yeah, like he was trying to like tower over her,
mm,
like intimidate her,
mhm.
really. But he
Yeah.
was trying to put it under this like facade of like, oh, I'm your bro, I'm your
Jokey.
friend. Like, I'm
Mhm.
just trying to like figure out why you were mad and all this stuff. But I'm like, but why are you so close? Like, you
Mhm.
back up. Like, why are you all up in her face? Like,
Yeah.
what is going on? And like you said, even when he was like, do you really want to bring that to your family? Like, is that how she's gonna act every time? I was like, yeah, the way you're talking is there's very coded
It's
message
very
under
coded.
that I'm not a fan
Very
of. I'm
coded.
like, you're trying to make Serena seem like she's this angry black woman that you can't bring around because she's just so much. She can't control herself. Yeah, wrap it up. He gotta go. I'm over it.
Yeah.
Very much, very much. I think also I I sent a tweet to you guys about how a lot of the men of the season haven't dated black women to begin with in their past. So a lot of the reactions showcase that. And Kendall's it very much showcases that. And again, I don't know what his history is, his black side, but I just feel like it's not a good one in the sense of either some black woman cussed him out or some black woman called him ugly when he was before his love phase, and he just internalized that and said, all black women must die. And that's literally, and like, yes. And then I think also someone, I think Nicole mentioned that he's the closest to the girls out of all the guys, which is okay. But it's okay. Um, uh, I just can't fathom as someone who is quote unquote closest to the girls out of all the guys, just going about the way things that he has, and even before Casa, like still instigating Cordell to drop Serena at any point of like altercation or friction. He was just like, no, drop her. But I will get again, like I mean, we'll get into Serena Cordell, but I just, yeah, no, Kendall tickets, you gotta go, you
Yeah.
gotta go.
I don't I
Public
also
enemy.
I suspect he thinks that America like loves him because he's like
Absolutely.
Ian. And I feel like he will be humbled by this next vote. It is really hard sometimes because it's like reality TV, whatever. It's like fun, interesting, blah, blah, blah. But
Hmm.
I feel this way about Big Brother sometimes too, that it's still a microcosm of the real world.
Hmm.
And so you're watching this show where you're like, oh, it's like games and like drama, but it's never equal because it's not equal on the outside. And so it's
Yeah.
not equal on the inside too. And I think about like the season of Big Brother that Taylor won, like that was a really hard season to watch because it was like
Yeah.
there was such clear racism
Yeah.
happening inside the house. Um, and it was I'm glad that she won, but also what she went
Yeah.
through, terrible. And so similarly, like Love Island is another one of those where it's like you can see from the outside, like this is what's going on. I'm supposed to be enjoying this and now I'm upset.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get off my screen, you
Hmm.
Hmm.
know? And so that's all I have to say about them because I don't care. And I hope that they leave next episode.
Yeah. I'm not rooting for them at all.
No.
Sorry.
Yeah, hopefully the vote gets me.
Yeah. Maybe we should do you want to talk about Liv briefly? I know that's not a couple. Liv, I
Someone on Twitter said that she was like Big Lotto, and I
What?
they posted a
I
photo of
can't.
actually I was like actually in tears. They posted a photo of I think it was Janae, Serena, and there's someone else too. I don't know who it was, but then they posted they included in that Liv, and it was like love my black queens, and then someone quoted that was like I swear she was like
I
Lotto.
can't.
It makes sense.
I mean,
It was like
yeah, Liv was cool. I liked her. She didn't really for again, I didn't watch from the beginning, but
mhm,
it's clear that she didn't really make strong connections with the guys to be coupled up.
mhm,
Um, but like she was definitely a girl's girl. Definitely was there for her girls. Um, yeah, she always came to their defense. Like she was very ready to fight for them, which I thought was really dope. She got a little too excited during movie night, coming for Janae for a second, and I was like, let's pipe it down.
mhm,
But
mhm.
besides that, she was cool.
Yeah.
I I have different thoughts. I
That's okay, girl. I haven't watched from the beginning. Go ahead.
my sister said that she was born 2002 and
Yeah.
that made a lot of things make
Yeah.
sense for me.
She's 21.
I'm
Yeah.
not a fan of her.
Mhm,
I wouldn't want a friend like her. I feel like she does come to people's defense when it benefits her. So I feel
Got it.
like I did not like the way that she handled the situation with Leah and Rob, where she just
absolutely
blatantly blew up a situation that and made it seem like something it was not, and like wouldn't and like they talked about it, and then it came up again during movie night, and then she
not.
just kind of like doubled down on her
Hmm.
wrong position about the situation that she was wrong about in the first place, and then the way that she came at Janae was super rude and
Yeah.
disrespectful. Um, so I'm just like, I don't really trust you very much. Like
Hmm.
I know you'll come at Aaron with Kaylor because that really doesn't affect you in any way, and that's like
Mhm.
your friend and Kaylor. And it also is not lost on me that her closest friend in the house is Kaylor. I feel like
Right.
there are reasons for that.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I mean, sure, like she has girl tendencies, but I think that only goes so far because ultimately the one who is constantly apologizing and actually trying to make amends in those situations is Leah and not Liv.
Hmm.
So when she went home, I
I
shed
didn't.
no tears. I didn't feel anything on the inside. I'm actually glad that she's gone because I feel like she's kind of an instigator. So
Mm.
Yeah, I think learning that she's 21 definitely helps like understand some not accept, but understand some of her actions that she had during the season because with that Leah and Rob situation where she offered believed Rob over Leah, didn't even go to like fact check with Leah, didn't say, hey Leah, Rob told me for this. Did you say this? She very much said in that conversation with him and was like, yeah, no, Leah's a liar. That's absolutely true. Like, girl, where is your moral code? Where is your ethics?
Mhm.
There was no I just hated that. But they squashed it allegedly and then kept moving and then she was fine during the season. But then during movie night, I was like, so you're not gonna apologize again. You're just gonna keep going. Got it, got it.
her
But
being
then
like,
the
did I
next episode,
lie? Yes, you did. You actually did.
you very much
Did
did. And
lie.
they keep not. understanding Leah's word because she took back, the whole took a backseat thing. She said that was incorrect, but that she wasn't the only person who was voting out Andrea. So it's just like, so what else are you standing on? There's nothing else for you to stand on. She's taking it back. She explained her standpoint and everyone else that was in that discussion and decision agreed that she was the only person that wanted to vote out Andrea. So I'm like, so what is he? Because you also, I just don't. So what? Because everyone took Janae out of the equation. So you also decided to send out Andrea, and you saw like there's no other question on that. So I don't know. It was very iffy, but I think, like Ariel said, she definitely is a girl's girl. I think she definitely does speak up, which um, I do see myself in that situation. And I probably, if I was at her age and getting to that show, I'll be edited as a lip. I hold my hand up and say that's right now. Because pre Jesus and pre meeting the current friends I have now, there was a lot less grace given to a lot of people in my life. So I definitely would have been in that situation. But now looking at her, I'm just like, there's why? I don't know if this is like also like a sailing way to go through things. I don't know if there's like a certain like different set of, I don't know what like her backstory is about all that things. But the way she went about the certain situations of like arguments and like you, which is very much like the gist of the Love Out in the UK, like you very much are going about this about like a girl boss, like I'm woman, you're before in this, but you really don't have to for every situation that you're in. There's no need to be as aggressive as you are or as you come about in every argument, every friction you have with someone else in that. So I was sad to see her leave because I feel like she was just like they were all getting to a place of like harmony, but I, she had no connection. There was nothing else for her to do there, but keep poking her head into people's businesses. So I don't know. Also, she was Team Aaron, which we'll get onto later on. But so that honestly gave me the ick so much. I'm like, how do you?
Honestly, it's not
You're
even just her. I'm noticing a lot of the girls are still very much like, yay, about Aaron. And I'm like, I don't get it. I don't understand.
Let's
But
just talk about it now then. Let's get into Ariel's feelings.
no, very much so. Because how do you see your friend? Her eyes have been swollen for the past week because she hasn't stopped crying.
like,
Man's actions, and I still say, hear him out. Hear him out. He loves you so much. Oh my God, he loves
like all of them screaming when she was like, he told me he loved me. I was like, why are we screaming? Why are we excited about
you.
this? Did we
Mm-mm,
not, did we
mm-mm,
not just see the clip that we got from Casa? Did we
mm-mm.
not like what's going on? Why are we not like, hey, I'm gonna hold your hand when I say this? This man don't like you. He
Oh,
doesn't like you. I'm
mm,
so sorry to tell you. He's been playing you from the jump.
mm-mm.
I didn't watch from the beginning, but I don't need to watch to know
No.
that that man don't like her for real. What? Allie
Mm-mm,
even was telling me, she was like, Aaron is waiting for a chance to leave the villa so he can act up. He never liked you, girl, and it was clear. They went to Casa. First girl, Daniela, boom, latched right onto her. That man don't like you. He don't care about you.
he left. He chose to left. And
He
I was
chose
hoping
to
that,
leave.
no, for sure. I was hoping that that conversation post like I love you declaration would have been like the Love Island UK season where it was like Liberty. It was like the same a situation where it was like a very tight knit of like girls of like girl groups and girlfriends and all sorts like that, and they're all like for each other. And honestly, same thing happened where a guy was treating a girl like crap, and he declared "I love you" as like a deflection, and homegirl was very excited, went to go sit with her girl and tell them, and they were like, mm. And no one smiled, no one did anything. So I was hoping that would happen. And they were like, they all explained to her, like, I think that was a deflection. I think that he said that for X, Y, and Z reasons. Like, you need to go back up to him and actually ask him, where was that love when you did X, Y, and Z behind me? So I was
Mm.
hoping that that was what happened. But then all the girls were like, oh my God, Aaron, yes, oh my God, you guys, oh my God, can't, yes. Like, I know that's not,
Why are
what?
we rooting for it? Why are we rooting for that?
What? Mm, yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's very
It
sad.
actually makes me feel like sick in here, like watching
Mhm.
them on my screen. It really does because it's just so, I know people like to throw around like psychological terms a lot when things aren't necessarily that.
Hmm.
But
Mhm.
like Aaron is gaslighting Kaylor. Like he absolutely is.
Yes.
He is
100%.
absolutely love bombing the heck
Yep.
out of Kaylor.
Hmm.
It's so sickening to watch and just
It's
like
not even love bombing, it's like the breadcrumbing. Like he's giving her like little tiny things and she
Yes.
just eating it up every
it's
single time.
it's
Yeah,
so
because it really is
sad.
love bombing. It isn't because it's not full like
Like
decoration,
he's
not
not doing
full
these
thing.
big sort of, but it's
Oh,
very much
that
getting to like, I'm gonna just
was
give you these
the
tiny little things and you're just
Yeah.
gonna accept it.
What
yeah.
also makes me upset too is like the way that he gets upset when she's upset at him and he victimizes himself and like flips it so that the blame is on her. Like even this last episode where he was like, "Well, that's how I felt in the moment, so like that's how I decided to test her." Like there's never any accountability.
Not at
He
all.
never. I was telling my sister in the car yesterday, like he is again, I don't know this person, but he is to me the embodiment of like white male privilege. Like never
Oh.
has had
Mhm.
I feel like he just reminds me of that kid that like your mom never said to you like go apologize right now and mean it
Hmm.
or you're gonna
Hmm.
be grounded for the rest of your life. Like that's like he never it
Hmm.
doesn't seem like he ever has had to be accountable for any of his behavior.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem like he can empathize with her in any way. And so it's just like I don't enjoy watching it. And he's just
I
and it
don't.
the only time he'll see her perspective is when Rob will tell him, like, this is
Yes.
what this is
His
what
man,
she's feeling. Which every time Rob pulls him aside, I'm like, wow, he actually
his
said
boo
something kind
thing.
of smart.
Mhm.
And it's shocking. But I still think it's not like, oh, I've hurt Kaylor. I need to go fix it. It's
Yeah.
more like, oh, Rob is telling me this is what Kaylor wants to hear. So I'm gonna
Hmm.
go say it to her. So she stops being mad at me.
Yeah. Guys, I found out on TikTok, Aaron was on Traders
Yeah.
UK, that
Yeah.
show Traders, and he won.
He
He was
wanted to
he
stable
was
with
the trader of the season and he won. This man faked a panic attack on the show when people were accusing him of being the traitor. And I was like, oh, he's scary. I was
Yeah.
like, oh,
he
he's
was
scary.
trader.
He was the traitor of the season and he won. There was a scene I watched where it was like they were all going around saying Aaron's a traitor, and he was like, no, I'm not, no, I'm not. Had a panic attack, and he won the season. I was like, yeah. I was like, that man is scary. Can't do it. Nope.
Oh
I was
my
like,
God.
Taylor is in trouble. That man will destroy her.
My God.
100%.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Uh, so I thought that he won as a faithful. So I'm like, okay, maybe he has some good about him because he won that just like gave me a chill. But that
Yeah.
episode is so scary.
Yeah.
How do you pass the psych eval? Is there psych eval for I just don't the
I don't I
UK
don't
one
know.
there definitely is because they had a lot of people who committed suicide who are on the show or like the
That's true.
previous host had. So I think they definitely are about that life. But I don't know what the US is. But that's why he actually is not in the UK, in the US, because there's a little less restrictions on being psychotic for dramatic value. But that is so insane.
Insane. I was like, yeah, once I saw that clip, I was like, yeah, there's nothing else to even try to like, we don't need to keep doing this. And
Mhm.
I need Kaylor to stand up. I need her to literally, like, I need something in her brain to just like click. Like, it's just not, I was like, you're taking him back with no repercussions, no consequences to his actions. You're just, all he got to do is say, I'm sorry. And you're like, okay. He says, I love you. You're jumping up and down, like peeing on yourself. What? Like,
I feel like
what?
Taylor also, I was saying this to Stephanie and Sasu. I wonder if she's ever gotten her heart broken in her life in a
Mhm.
Mm,
serious way. Because
yeah.
I feel like if you had, then some yellow, red flag would have gone up at some point where you'd have been like, actually,
Yeah.
it's not okay that you talk to me.
Hmm.
you know, and it just she has like a very innocent, and she's 22. She has a very like
Hmm.
innocent feel to her. She's
Yeah.
from like a small town. So I just
Hmm.
wonder if she's ever had any like dose of reality ever.
I probably,
I
probably.
suspect no.
Like
Yeah.
this man literally said to her, I'm sorry that I don't have self-control. And I just kind of did what I did. I was like, he just told you that he doesn't have self-control.
And you're on his lap about to kiss him. Hello?
I was like, he just told you that if you guys go out in the real world, he's going to cheat on you. He doesn't have self-control.
I also despise this idea of like I need to test our connection by
Girl. Oh.
doing stuff with other people. And it's I in my head too, it's like, okay, it's different if like okay, as much as I don't like Kendall and Nicole, I feel like the way that Nicole went about, I don't think you might have seen this, Ariel. She went about like testing things with Miguel. She did kiss him maybe once, but she was like they were like talking and she was very clear
Mhm.
with both of them, like I'm getting to know both of you. Also, it was
Mhm.
pretty early on. They
Yeah.
like prior to Casa, Aaron had almost dropped like the L word, so I feel like that's a very different context too.
Hmm.
So I do feel like there's a way of like getting to know different people that's respectful, but just
Yeah.
this was my issue with Keenan last year. Every person that came in, he'd be like, I have to test our connection to make sure that like, because out in the real world, this is how it's gonna be. And I was talking to Andrew about it the other day, and I was like, can you imagine if I said that to you? Like, I just want to test our connection by just seeing if it works with other people. He'd be like, I would end the relationship because no. Like I
It doesn't
no.
make any sense
It
because like
does.
that's how the real world is. I'm like, what world do you live in? I'm
That is,
like, I before I got married, no man was trying to be like, hey, what's up? Like every day. No. You're
Right.
actively seeking out other people. Let's just cut it out. Cut it out.
Right.
and
And
also you're saying that you're gonna put yourself in situations where those things can happen. Like
Yeah.
you're
like,
actually telling me that you're gonna go out into a setting where there are girls who are gonna throw themselves at you, which is like very few and far between. Because why? Because who you are as a person. But like, I just why would oh,
it's like that was annoying me the whole time when everyone was like, I just need to test out my connection. All the guys that kept saying it, with the exception of Miguel, because he wasn't really serious. But like the other guys were like, I just need to check if my connection was real. I just need to know if this
no.
is the stronger connection. I'm like, why? Like, why do you need? Because it didn't make sense to me because I'm like, so you need to test out your connection. You're
Mhm.
gonna bring this girl back. And then you're going to be like, oh, actually, I've always just wanted the girl I was originally with. So what was the point of that? What was the point? And all the men fail to admit they just wanted their cake and eat it too. You just wanted both girls there so you could do whatever you wanted. And you wanted the original girl to just accept your BS. That
Yeah.
that's really all it was. I was like, you guys are trying to make it seem like, oh no, I wasn't doing it on purpose. I was just trying. No, you did it on purpose. You actively made a choice to pursue somebody else while you
Mhm.
know somebody. Cordell telling Serena, I knew you were going to stay loyal. I knew you were going to stay loyal and stand by yourself. And you still did what you. I'm like, you guys can't convince me.
Rarely the ring she gave him. We'll go back to
You
the
can't convince me that it was just it's just a matter of the situation. It wasn't. It wasn't. Because you're admitting it without admitting it. All the words you're saying are telling me, I knew you were going to be loyal to me and I didn't care.
Yeah.
So what are we even talking about?
Yeah, no, I don't know if because I have an older brother and I was exposed to his pre-marriage, pre-relationship, pre-marry at all. Love my sister-in-law down.
Mhm.
I was going to his college ways and also his friends' college ways. Again, pre all of their relationships. So now they're all hunkered down, good husbands, good boyfriends. They are doing things before that. I think I expected a lot of this to happen just because, especially at their ages, like it just makes although some I think Aaron's like one of the oldest, so adds also something else. But I just that frontal cortex and frontal lobe not being fully developed, it really be tripping men up. I don't know what it is, but it really just be like, whoa, let me just turn off this. Like it literally just turned off. There's nothing. It's an active decision to turn it off at every moment. I'm like, can we just not do that? Can we just can we just actually not? But I don't know. It
I don't know
So
because I'm like the girls are younger than when your prefrontal cortex develops and they're not acting up. They know better. I don't
I found
know.
out apparently women's art is more complex than men's art. So that's also a whole different thing. But also women are conditioned that we don't have the opportunities to do that,
True.
make mistakes, especially on TV. And have this freedom to hoe out. That's why there was one year Love on UK where a woman did do that and she fully hoed out. I'm not fully hoed out, but she like fully like explored, kissed, did all the things, and she was villainized
Oh yeah.
during, after, and even post the season. Like even to this day, people still bring up that like she was a terrible woman. She was a dark skinned black woman, which is a whole added on context to that. So, yeah, no. So even with that, I'm sure everyone else after that was like, you know what? I'm not gonna do this. I can't. I'm not gonna take the chances. Do that. But also, women just don't. We're just not. We're
Yeah,
not trained to do that. If you want to say that. So.
For sure. I think it's socialization,
For sure.
100%. Where it's like the
hmm
men are like, you, like with Aaron, I think he 100% was like, I'm gonna do this and Kayla's still gonna take me back.
Yeah,
For
he
sure.
knew.
Yeah. Whereas, like, on the other hand, I mean, cheating is always bad, but a cheater who's a woman is always gonna be looked at worse than a cheater who's
Mhm.
a man.
hmm
So it's like, and with Kayla too. She felt so guilty every time she would kiss other people, even if it was in a challenge, because of the way that Erin treated her when she kissed Connor on like day 4 or whatever that was.
Yeah.
And they were not even close to closed off. So yeah, I think that socialization piece hugely plays a role. And every year it's like disappointing to watch. It's like
Mhm.
you could have done so much better and you didn't. So lame.
Yeah.
But I
Yeah.
don't want to talk about Kayla and Aaron anymore. So
Thank
No.
you so
let's move
much.
on. I hope that they leave next episode and that she has like a good support system who's able to be like, so
Mhm.
this is a toxic relationship. Let's talk about that because it's
Mhm.
not good. And Lord knows how this relationship will transpire off camera
Yeah.
if it's already transpiring this way on camera.
hmm
So,
Especially from someone who's already been on reality TV beforehand and has experience of like how editing works and understands all the things. For him to do that and like to go through that and still do what he's doing, I'm just like, so you're actually psychotic. There's no other way. Like there's no way to go about it or explain it. You seen what happened. You saw what your reception was afterwards and how, all the good things and all stuff like that. And you still decided to be an actual a-hole on TV to this girl who actually does not have the brain cells to process. All she does, because although I think we found out before, but we are reminded that she's a psychology student and just graduated. Um,
hmm
she has all the brain cells and has all the tools. So now I'm also thinking that she has the sense that she can quote unquote fix it and be, understands them quote unquote fully. Um, but I just, as the man in that situation, I just don't understand how you have gone through that beforehand and still act the way you did. I just don't get that at all.
yeah. So, boo. Thumbs down all the way. Dislike. In every single episode, it upsets me. And I try to not let myself be involved, but I'm always upset by like the faces he makes and his mannerisms and him storming away.
Hate it.
Moving on, let's briefly, I guess, talk about Leah and Miguel and maybe like Rob a little bit if that applies.
I guess. Honestly, I like them. Like, I kind of like them
They're
guys.
cute.
They are like, I know he was acting up in Casa, but she also was like, I already know. Like, she wasn't even phased. She's like, I already know he's acting up. They had just coupled up, so they were like, it really isn't that serious.
Mm-hmm.
But I like them. Like, he brought Sarah back, and I was like, cool. But then he was like, I'm really feeling Leah. And I was like, yep. Keep going. Go for it. I want to see how this is going to progress. And where they're at right now, yes. Yep.
Mm-hmm.
I like them
No,
a lot.
agree. I think they're such unserious people separately that
Yeah.
together the unseriousness become just a good harmony for them in
hmm
their relationship. And I think even if they don't continue after the show, I think watching them progress as they have been, and particularly this episode yesterday, when they're finally back together and all the good stuff. I think that um, it's been nice. It's been nice seeing both of them like kind of calm down a little bit because they both
Hmm.
are very chaotic. They both were like not fully understanding their repercussions of their actions in all totality, um, but very much transparent in what they were doing as well. So I don't know. They're very cute.
Yeah.
They're very cute.
I kind of liked how he was aware of his triggers, even though it's not how he really said it, but he was
Mm,
like, yeah, I was really turned off because it reminded me of like my parents. And I was like,
yeah.
here we go. Let's process that a little bit, babe. Come on. Let's talk
That's
about it.
the trauma. Oh my God.
Yeah, he was like, I really just don't like seeing people argue. And I remember being like, because he was like, I kind of need to be with women who are calm. And I was like, but do you think that even though they're calm, you're not gonna meet confrontation? Like you're not gonna have
Right.
arguments? So I'm glad he, was willing to still talk
Mm-hmm.
to Leah and still pursue that with her.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying?
Yeah, I like them a lot. I
And
think they're cute. I really do. And I think they've been like really honest with each other, I would say. And yeah, again, like he was doing what he did in Casa, but I feel like it had only been 2 days and it wasn't that serious.
yeah.
And he came back and was, I feel like, pretty honest with both Leah
Mhm.
and Sierra, like pretty upfront. Um, and I like it. I'm a fan. I think that they're super cute. I think he's hilarious. Like I don't know if he and like when they were leaving Casa Amor, he was like, Casa Amor is Casa no more. And I was like, okay, Gail, please. Like he just makes me laugh. Like I feel like he's just aware of the fact that he is like chaotic, and
Yeah.
very much owns his stuff. And I like it.
Mhm.
I'm a fan. And I'm glad Leah finally has somebody who's like about her. Because she's great. I love
Yeah.
her.
Yeah. Yeah. I think Leah definitely had a rocky moment with all of Black Twitter, and still is because Black Twitter does not like her for very valid reasons because of her interruptions. Gladly interrupted Connor and Janae and couple with Connor and kind of like how that went about,
Yeah.
and kind of the politics of all that when it comes to Black women and dark women, Black women, and all that good stuff. But I just I don't know. Leah has a special place in my heart. I don't know if because I watched Shaw's Sunset, which was a reality TV show on Bravo that followed different Persians, Middle Easterns, and I think it's canceled. I don't know if they actually fully canceled it, but they haven't said they're bringing it back. But note the knowledge of that she is Persian and how, at least on the show, and I do not have any personal connection to Persians in my life. Although I think my mom's nursing friend is Persian. Anyways, back to the yeah. With the knowledge that Persians are very very much like the the very Black people of the Asian cultures, like they're very out loud, they're very outgoing. They talk with their hands. They are very much like I hate you, but also like here's a piece of bread if you're hungry. Like I feel like that that context and the care that comes along with also the emotions, like they're not angry just to be angry, they're angry because they care. Which is, work out through therapy, whatever it is. But like it's having that knowledge of that. I'm like, okay, I kind of understand Leah. I kind of other than the whole Janae Connor thing, like okay, I see your anger, I see you cussing out. I see you having these disputes and stuff like that, and I understand where you came from because I understand that's how you possibly communicate with your family and people growing up. So like, okay, whatever. Um, and I don't know her. I think her and Miguel have similar one-liner tendencies. Like the things that he's saying in the confessionals, I'm like, you're actually the most unserious people. Like, what do you? I don't know. They're very cute together. I enjoy them so much. I really do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we'll see what transpires. I do, and I agree that she's had like some rough moments. I do think though she is able to like own up to a lot of the stuff that she's done.
Mm-hmm.
And even like with the whole live thing specifically, be the bigger person in the situation where I'm like, you do not. I'm like, I wouldn't want to be the bigger person in the situation if I were you. Like, and her being able to like
For white women?
after that clip too of like her clowning Rob for crying and her apologizing, even though she could have easily been like, I was making fun of you because you were weaponizing your tears against me and you tried to drown yourself in the pool for the theatrics of it all. when it was about how I felt because you were leaving me for some other girl.
Yeah.
Um, so I feel like there's like a thread of maturity in that too. So we will see. I'm intrigued. They're like the like side couple that interests me, like gives me some little crumbs of like joy. Uh,
Yeah.
let's move on to Kenny and Janae. Um,
I love them so much. I don't know. It gives me good Shondaland, um, great vibes. I feel like Shonda Rhimes would love them, cast them in her show, inspire future episodes of Grey's Anatomy and all that good stuff. I don't know. They make me so happy. I think because they're very much a yapper girlfriend and meets silent boyfriend who is just excited
Yeah.
to exist. I love it. I love it so much. And the way that he literally pines for her, the comparisons on Twitter to Bridgerton, Peter Kravinsky, and what is happening? Oh my gosh. I just love them so much. I just love
Yeah.
them so much. I just, and Janae herself, she's just like me. She just be talking for real
I love
and just
her.
things. I don't know, she's very sweet. Her little moments that be caught on camera, like when she had the conversation with Kenny post Casa and the reconciliation conversation, and she was just like dancing down the stairs, like just had a conversation with Kenny. It went really well. Like la la la. You're literally a tiny little Barbie. You're Barbie and Ken.
Yes.
Literally Barbie and Ken. And he literally just exists for you. There's no other there's no other thing to say. And also I don't know if these people are actually related or connected to Kenny in real life, but they say they are. And getting the confirmation that like she's someone that he would go after in real world, but also that this is who he is in real life. He's a lover boy. He's very sweet. He just wants someone to treat well. And I'm like, this is there's nothing that can go. I don't know. I don't even care. Actually, no, I do care. They have to work out. There's no other. No, they actually do. They have to get married in 2 years. I need a kid. I want this for them because they're both so mature emotionally in that sense. Even though also they both have a lot of growing to do and personally in a relationship. But great stuff. 10 out of 10.
I'm
10 out of
Yeah.
obsessed, obsessed. Like I vividly remember because the past couple episodes, my sister and I have been watching like in the basement on like the big TV, like as soon
Mhm.
as it airs, and
10.
we're live texting Sasu.
Mm-hmm.
After he came back from Casa and she was crying and she was basically like, I might as well leave. And he was like, his face was like so broken. He was like, she said she's gonna leave. And he like breaks down in tears, like
Give them
in
FaceTime.
Serena's arms. And Stephanie and I were like, take him back, Janae, please. Take him back. He's crying. And it was like it felt so genuine. It almost felt like he was like, well, I thought this is what you were supposed to do in Casa Amor, and less like slimy, the way that maybe like Aaron or like
Sure. Yeah.
Keenan had been in the past. And I also don't feel like him and Kat were doing like too much craziness
No.
in Casa. I
Mm-mm.
think you're just getting, and then yeah, he was just like, well, I didn't think we were closed off, but like if you want to be closed off, like I'll get rid of her right now. Like I'll push her into the ocean. Like
Anyway,
No, yeah. I would say because I didn't see their moments before Casa, I was just like, oh, I know they're coupled up or whatever. So when he like decided he was gonna like talk to Catherine, I was like, I'm not a fan of this. I'm very upset. Um, and then when he came back, like I remember seeing online, everyone was like, "Oh, Kenny," but I was very much like, I want all the men to suffer. So
yeah,
my energy was not like, "Oh," I was like, "Yeah, cry. I want you to cry because what you did was not okay." So he had to kind of grow on me a little bit, and then when he started redeeming himself, I was like, "Okay, I love them now." I was
yeah.
mad at him, but I'm like, "Okay, I forgive you."
the speech he gave during the recoupling.
Ah,
I was like, this is so
Give him an Emmy right now. He earned it. He earned his daytime Emmy on
in
the show was on their back. I just that was very sweet. And like seeing, especially now they're got past like the tips of the recoupling from Casa, seeing the edits of just like their moments before Casa and like how he literally was just zoned in on this woman, and even after Casa, especially even more. I'm like, you this is love. this is actually so adorable to watch and like kind of flesh out because I feel like he matches Janae's energy in the sense that he understands that she just be talking. And he's like, yeah, no,
Yeah.
I appreciate you listening.
Because
And doesn't
she
take
was
her seriously. I just
when she was like, "Who's gonna like put your couch together? Who's gonna change the oil in your car?" I was like, "Janae, you will
he
not be doing that, girl. What?"
understands that she won't do that, but he's also understands that like her thing is like act service the way she shows love. So it's like and also quality time. So it's just like it's very cute. And that scene where she they were sitting on the beanbag and he was far away and she was like, I don't know, you come to me. He literally yeets her phone out of the picture and like comes next there. I'm like, you I just this is very cute.
That and when they were sitting and she was like, she essentially, I don't remember if she said like, "Do you want to kiss me?" or she was like, "You look like you want to kiss." She didn't even finish the sentence. He immediately was like,
Like, yes, give me your
he was like, "Oh, green light. Like I will
soul
kiss you
tie.
now and forever."
When they're in
Yeah.
soul ties lying down and and she goes, tell me you want me. And he goes, I want you. I need you. I said,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
where is the script and scene? Because what other it's definitely
Cinema. It was cinema.
it's getting
Cinema.
Bridgerton. It's giving Rich the man who is pining for his woman. I burn for you. It's just how Anthony is obsessed, obsessed. Okay, I feel like that is literally what is portraying out loud right now in real life. And I think because I love them as a couple, talking about Anthony Gate on Bridgerton, that like seeing that be actually personified in real life and actual people, that this is not just a fairy tale. I'm like, oh, okay. There are actual men out there who are pining after women and crying and having tears. And when even when the boys are doing things, he's like, where's Shanae? Where's the
Yeah.
I think I don't know if it was last night or the night before where the boys were all getting ready and they were like, oh, I gotta talk to this person, I had to say apologies to the person. And they're like, oh, Kenny, who do you have to talk to? It's like Janae. It's like, oh, what happened? I just want to be with her. I'm like they're so unproblematic. There's nothing moving. Nothing phased them. Like there's nothing that has gone wrong other than that little tiff of recoupling of Casa. That really
Yeah.
took projection of Janae's like insecurities and also Kenny not being sure that he did enough for her to like not move on. But they leave out with that. So I don't know. I hope they win. So yes.
Yeah, and I get that. I think a lot of that was exactly what she said of like, I've been played so much in here.
Yeah.
And like
Loudly.
that whole thing about like when they sent Andrea home and the guys were like very clearly essentially being like, Janae should have gone home, you know? And so I think that like, which was so mean. I think that just like stuck with her. Um,
Watching that actually thrilled me. Like it was just such like them to have such a visceral reaction and literally say to her face and like in front of her, like you guys made the wrong decision of keeping Janae, and then also saying, I'm glad the girls like stuck up for her in that sense, just like saying, okay, so who should we send home? Like you tell us, boys, and say the quiet part out loud, who we should send home and why, and we can go backtrack behind that. So like, and seeing her break down and cry because having all of your guy friends say that you should have went home when they understood and seeing your trajectory and seeing that all the things that happened were not your fault, why the connections did not last. I just could not. I just that's what inspired the men of that season. But the ones who were reacting very loudly, aka Aaron and Rob and Kendall and all the good stuff, um, were just were just trash in their heart of hearts. But I digress.
yeah, and look at Rob now. And look at Janae now. So I have not I don't even know if Rob knows Andrea
Oh,
exists.
oh, Rob. Mm-hmm. Oh, I did see someone say that. I think I told you and said that his spark left after Andrea also left. I feel like he once he realized that his like actual true like full fleshed out connection that had no real drama, had like it was kind of iffy, but then it was kind of going smooth sailing and could have got a little bit stronger as the days go on was gone. I feel like he just was just vibing after that and coasting. So I don't know.
I feel like he still likes Leah, but I think he doesn't
I think so too.
trust her because of a lot of misinformation. I also think Aaron ruins everything, and I think Aaron being there probably keeps
Aaron
him
wants
from,
him for
like,
himself, so he'll ruin all the connections that Rob.
yeah,
So very possible.
yeah. So now let us talk about the big boss of this season, which is what it
Yeah,
feels like,
let's
which
get
is
into it.
Serena and Cordell.
Where do we want to start?
Why don't you start, Ariel, since you just like were thrown into this.
Yeah. So, like I said, I watched the episode before they went to Casa. And so before that, like again, I saw clips on TikTok and Twitter. So that's partially why I even wanted to start watching. 'Cause I was like, they look like a good amount of drama that I would enjoy. Because just the way she was like handling herself, I was like, I love her already.
Mhm.
So um, yeah, before they went to Casa, they had a little conversation, we're gonna be respectful, whatever. Told each other that they liked each other, whatever. Cute, right? Then Casa happens. And Cordy went down the toilet for me. I was like, what? Like again, like we went back to like going back to like the logic of it all. That doesn't make any sense. But that logic of like, I just need to test the connection. I just need to see if my connection with Serena is stronger. Why? Why do you need to like there's no reason for you to test it out. So him and Dea and all of that was just not it for me. I was not a fan at all. So then when he got back and was trying to act like, I don't even know what you're talking about. Huh? You're really gonna try to lie? You're really gonna try to act like you weren't making out with this girl, rubbing up on her. She wasn't all up on you. She wasn't trying to make out with you to take lip gloss off her mouth. Like, you're gonna really act like you weren't doing anything and then trying to be like, oh, well, the clip you got was only like 2 minutes. It showed me a good amount of stuff that 2 minutes. It sure did. So yeah, that was a mess. So when Serena finally like confronts him, first of all, I just want to talk about Serena standing on business, standing 10 toes down and was not budging. Like she was like, you're not about to come in here and swindle me. You're not about to come in here and try to
Like,
manipulate me and make me forgive you real quick. No,
Mhm.
I'm gonna be mad at you and you're gonna feel it, which I respect. I believe women are allowed to be angry. I was
Mhm.
tired of this whole Serena, don't be mad at him. No, let her be mad at him
yeah.
because she is justified in her anger. So when he was trying to come around and give her the breakfast and she threw that plate back, I was like, yep, and do it again. Do it 3 times for me, actually. Do it again. Like she was like, no, you're not about to come in here and try to make it seem like I'm overreacting. That's what we're not going to do. So I loved that. Even like when she finally confronted him, I actually started getting like emotional, like watching her be like, you didn't even consider me. Like, you didn't consider me at all in all of that. Like, hearing her voice break, like trying not to cry, I was like, I can't. Like, this is like the consequence of like your decision. Like, you're hurting this girl that was like loyal to you, who was like, I'm not sleeping in the bed with anybody. I'm not even going to entertain anyone. And like, you just come back and think it's just going to be like honky dory good times. Like, no, she's like, no, you're not about to do that. And so I respected her a lot for that. I was like, yeah, I stand her. She's my
Yeah.
baby girl. So when, things happened with Dea and stuff, that whole situation with Dea was weird. When she was like, I'm breaking up with him before he break up with me. Oh, girl, you can't have him now. I was like, you're 27. Stop it. Sit down. That's weird. You're being weird. I don't like it. Like trying to be like Serena's like friend. And I was like, you're not her friend. Like, she's tolerating you at this point. Like, you coming up to her and trying to be like, yeah, he was like da 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 da. Like she just looked at her like, okay.
So weird. Just so you
So
know,
weird.
like,
It's
stop, please stop.
girl, it's weird. So then when movie night happened and they showed the clip, heartbroken. I was like,
Mhm.
why do we have to see this again, guys?
Mhm.
Um, And then afterwards, when like they were starting to kind of like, I knew she was gonna start forgiving him when
Yeah.
he came up and talked to her. And then he was saying like, "Oh, can I like get a hug or whatever?" And then she was just like, "Get away from me." And I was like, "They're about to be together.
Mhm. That
I
was
now I'm invested. You
I
guys are about to be back together." Like I was like, I like that she let him feel her anger and feel her hurt because I was like, yeah, don't budge. Like don't give in right away. Because he knew he messed up. He was like, "Oh, I
the
absolutely
whole villain knew he messed. That was
like
not
he was like, "Oh, this was not worth it at all."
Mm-mm.
Cause yeah. So then when like they finally talked and they were like, let's like, close it off and stuff. I was like, "Ah." And then like the recoupling, that's when I cried. I cried during the recoupling. I don't know why I cried, but I don't know if it was like the music that was playing. Like the score was kind of eating these last few episodes. I'm not even gonna lie. Like
yes.
the music was, when he's like saying I want to get his speech was so funny to me because he was just like, "You want me to go after Kenny?" Like
Yeah.
I was like, he was like, I'm really like feeling this girl, like for real.
No
Like I
cap.
was like, this is so
No, I told you guys, it literally was Kenny's speech, but in black. Like it literally the same exact sentence, but
it
in
was
black idioms.
oh my God. And so he's like, I want to recouple with Serena. And then they like hugged. I literally like started crying. I was
Her
like, oh
face while he was talking to was
yes.
just lit up. She's beautiful.
Oh,
She's
I
It's
so
literally started
unbelievably
two
crying.
beautiful.
They were
everyone.
so cute.
So cute.
I was like, this is so cute. And I just literally started weeping. I was like, I don't know why they're
Yeah.
making me emotional, but I love them so
Well,
much.
I think like so what I was saying at the beginning about like how it's an anthropological study on like relationships and behaviors. I feel like in relationships things do happen. Maybe not necessarily this where you're like kissing up on another
Mhm.
girl. Hopefully
Right.
not. But things do happen that upset the other person. And it's
Mhm.
you can't just try to like manipulate it away or
Yep.
just like, oh, I'm sorry. Sometimes you do have to like work for things. And even him, one
Mhm.
thing he said that I was like, I love this. He was like, I think it was in yesterday's episode. He's like, I want to talk to you, but I respect that you need time and space.
Yes.
I was like,
Yep.
this is so like it's such a mature thing to
Mhm.
say. And like you could tell he was really feeling her pain. And even when the other guys were trying to like almost like victimize Cordell and be like, oh, she's, the angry
Yeah.
woman trope, like she's like going
Mhm.
off. But he never joined in on that
Yep.
conversation.
That's
Like, yeah,
true.
she's being so crazy for no reason. It's always like, no, she's like actually just really upset because
Mhm.
of something I did that hurt.
Yeah.
Um, so I feel like, yeah, it was cool to see that like dynamic of I know I did wrong and I'm going to actually work on it because that's what a relationship is.
Mhm.
Work. And sometimes you do things that really hurt the other person, and it doesn't mean you could just be like, well, you have to just get over it. Again,
Yeah.
Aaron, just get over
Mhm.
it. Either you get over it or you get over the relationship. It's like, no,
Yeah. Either
actually,
you
I'm
drop it or
gonna
you drop me. Okay.
okay, I'll drop you then. Um, so annoying. But yeah, so his ability to actually like take accountability, I think was really beautiful to watch, you
Yeah.
know.
Agreed. And I think, especially in the context of like the pre-Casa episodes and like seeing her open up to him, seeing him willingly let her grow to love him. I think that was really beautiful to see. And then having that pre-Casa moment, and there was a moment before Casa as well, where they were coupled. It was very cute. They're wearing, I think, a blue outfit, which was cute that they're matching. And the kiss, and then they got from the kiss, and then they said they were like just hugging whatever. He twirled her, and Serena goes, "Now jerk," and they started dancing. I'm like, this is I I play that in my head at least twice a day because it's such a cute and like real moment for them, and like it kind of like explains and like is like the how they were before Casa, how they are now, like
Mhm.
very like reconciled and stuff. So like I am very glad that they're back together, and then having the knowledge that they had the discussion before Casa, and Serena herself has been respectful in getting to know people. So with the
Yeah. I love that.
Nigel, yeah, Nigel beforehand where she went on a date and then she was like, I'm not gonna give you a kiss. He was like, can I? He was like, I heard you get a kiss or whatever, get a taste or whatever. She was like, that's not gonna happen. So then he explained that she went to Cordell, they got over it, whatever. And then they kept going on, and she's saying she's a slow burner. Even when the guys were telling Cordell, oh my gosh, she hasn't done X, Y, and Z with you. What do you mean?
Hmm.
He was like, no, she's just whatever. And like his ability to like filter out the BS from the guys and just let it slide off. I'm like, this is man, this is
Yeah.
really like he's one of the youngest. I think him and Kenny are the
Hmm.
youngest guys in the villa. And for them to be as mature as they are, again, pre underdeveloped cortex explained Casa, and
Yeah.
lack of self control. I think their reactions and their responses to their women's and their partners' actual visible hurt and Cordell's responses, it really does show what it means and like what example of a black man who understands black
I
women's
was
needs.
just I was just
Because
about to say
I
that.
just everyone else was like, oh my gosh, she is going crazy. She is saying X, Y, and Z. And
Hmm.
he was like, wow, she cares. Oh my God, she loves me.
Yeah.
That is crazy. Because he
Yeah.
said that she is not gonna get this angry. Because
Hmm.
and if he did not care about you, I am minding my business. I am
Hmm.
going about, I am drinking water. The way that Janae was literally just like minding her business because she was like, she did not really, she was like, you know what? I see what's happening. I'm exiting on this conversation. I'm still hurt, but I'm not going to do anything about that.
Hmm.
So, like, we just wouldn't, for the most part, if we do not care, we just won't say anything. We'll just let things pass us. Serena was giving it to everyone. Everyone
Oh,
can
I loved it.
love this so much.
From
And
the recoupling on, I was like, yes, give it to
I
all of
got
them.
to everything. I personally wouldn't have done the food thing, but on but the context
See
that like
that?
it was hot food and I was hungry. I like breakfast, so I would just
She
like
did drink
let
the
him.
juice though. She did drink the
She
juice.
did because she
Hmm.
got it from Rob because Rob brought it up. She thought it was
Uh,
him, so that was that context. But I wouldn't have dropped the food just because it as a black man making a healthy mixed food, it looks like a season. I don't know. I would hate it personally, but like I would put the pretense of like, having to side and not touching it, not acknowledging it, whatever. Just with
mhm.
that. But like her doing it, I'm like, yeah, girl. And even him, his reaction to that, he was like, yeah,
He wasn't even like upset. That
everything
man ate
he
them
did.
eggs off his chest.
He was like, yeah.
Bringing in the
He's like,
plate
this is the avocado.
in yesterday's
Yes.
episode. Like, it
I
was
saw
so
that.
funny.
Unserious. Unserious. So his ability to do that and like take everything that the men are saying, like of Kendall saying, why would you want that? And the partners is how she reacts now. And even Miguel saying, why would you put that on a wife? But not knowing Miguel's
Mhm.
context of, his family, his parents, whatever. I'm like, okay,
Right.
okay, okay.
But then again, it goes back to the point of like, you guys don't understand the
No.
cultural dynamic.
Mm-mm.
Like, clearly, Cordell is used to seeing that. Like,
Yeah.
that is a part of his own cultural worldview.
Yeah.
Y'all have never seen that. So to you, it's like, whoa. But to him, he's like, yeah, I've probably seen my aunts and my sisters act like this. Like,
Yeah.
it doesn't phase me.
Yeah.
Because he
Everybody
understands
had some stories
personality
that
as
was
well. Mm-hmm.
really funny. Like him and Miguel on the dock. She comes down, she's like, "Oh, y'all gonna hear me today."
Yeah.
So you're
And Miguel is like, "What's up?" And then he came up to her. He's so
like,
confused. He's like, "I just want to know what's going. Like, what are you talking about? Like, I'm so confused. Why are you yelling at me?" Like, oh, that made me laugh. It was
No,
so
she
good.
absolutely
and
sent
said,
me.
"Oh my God!" Because
When she
also the
came for
context
Cordell, she said, and Cordell, I don't know why you're nappy headed looking over here. I was like, yeah, this
in
is
the
black as
context that she did
hell.
his hair during the season, and like knowing that his hair actually was nappy because she wasn't doing it. She's like, "I am the reason it is nappy now." Like I just, I,
It's just,
I don't think we've ever seen such full on representation of Black American love on
mhm,
a TV like that. There's previous season there's Black love in terms of there was an African immigrant who is now American, Justine McHale, who is a light skinned Black man, which is a whole different thing. There was I think season 5 was when, or was it? Was it season 5 with Timmy and Data? Was that Timmy and Data or was that someone else? I don't know. But the Timmy and Data season,
Years
there was
ago. Yeah. Whatever it
yeah.
was for.
Yes, for so
Yeah.
that season she was from the UK. He was very much black man, and there was Jeff on that season as well, who's another black man, and they very much got into it. But that was again, she was from the UK, so there's some context and there's things that were missing
Mhm.
from the conversation that wasn't really met. But that season also was very funny. There are different black conversations. But with this, where it is very much they are both from Houston. They
Yep.
both in the contexts. He had
Hmm.
seen her in full totality. They have realistically progress in relationships that people have should in terms of they are very slow. They were got physical for the first time before Casa. Like it was
Hmm.
very much like I'm opening up to you. It's like all like
Yeah.
that. Things you would see on the real life in real life and having the black context. Uh slight spoiler of like her doing his hair in last episode. Like there are just some things that I just as someone, even myself who is not Black American in sense of like African American, I am Haitian American.
Hmm.
I fully understand, have been immersed in that culture and seeing that really being lived out again with the same thing of Janae and Kenny of like seeing those things personified in real life for Black women who are darker skin tone, who don't have, the typical like passive Black woman who has gone to PWI and has all the good traits. Even also with the context that she's an AKA, which I didn't know about. She's firmly educated, which I didn't know about, but she's
Hmm.
in a very
Yeah. I
job.
watched a little bit of the most recent episode where she was like, I'm a
A
data
media
analyst for
strategist.
like kids
Yeah,
media. I was like,
I did not. I last night before that, I was kind of scrolling through her TikTok. She did a good red with me for like my first like real job post college, and it was like her and her big girl job, and she was really cute, whatever. But I didn't realize what the job was. Kind of get far into the TikTok. I was just like, this is good. This is good, and I the way she carried herself and not letting herself. She once I think her articulated herself really well on TV.
yes.
I hate the stereotype that you know the sentence of black people who are eloquent. I hate that, but like she really was able to list out
Yeah,
what
no, she
was
communicated
wrong with her.
like
She communicated
exactly.
perfectly,
Hmm.
and her just being herself in every situation, but also understanding like when to like not say something or go too far, and then
Hmm.
seeing the scenes of her crying by herself a lot
Yeah.
was sad because she, in her commercial, said she didn't want people to see her crying and seeing her weak because she just was not used to that, which is another
Hmm.
stereotype of black women. So
Yeah.
I don't know. They're also my winners. So if Kane or Kadina can split the money, I don't like that very much. Thank you so much. If they can just
No,
contribute,
like
then I'll
I
just
literally was like, am I considering like voting for real? Because they have, when I tell you they have to be top two for me, I'm like, you guys can't, America,
they're
please
gonna
don't
win.
disappoint me. Please.
I want
They're
them
Let
to
gonna.
I
win.
need the top three to be Serena and Cordell, Janae and Kenny, and Miguel and Leah
Mm-hmm.
expeditiously.
Mhm.
They're gonna
Okay?
win. There's no other way. Because also with Cordell's brother being Odell Beckham
That's
Jr.,
true.
he posted last night to vote for them. So
Did
on
he
his IG stories,
really?
yes, he posted twice. He
Okay.
posted once with just like a reposting of the IG post from Love Island's thing, and posted again with link in bio, so people knew
Mm,
to go and
mm.
vote. So
Oh, we're in there. We're in
yeah,
there.
and like people are again. I guess one thing I hate about this season becoming more popular is that Twitter fan bases are actually very scary
Yeah.
and they are literally spamming accounts. They are doing X, Y, and Z. Can't people like report it? I just you're doing a lot. Some posts that they had literally 4 phones, an iPad, this and an actual laptop in order to vote for Cadell and Serena. So I'm like, you know what? As long as they're black, I don't care. I don't know. This season, the people of color have been showing out and showing up. So I minus Kendall, and Nicole and Andrea. Actually, a lot. Anyways, the people of the more melanated uh, this, facilities have been showing up and showing out, and I've been really enjoying that. So
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
hope so.
I want them to win. I want all the melanated people to win. That's who I'm here for. Sorry, y'all. Not sorry, actually, but
Yes. I know Black I'm Dominican.
They
I
actually are like the best part of the show though. Like it's not even like it actually is just
yes,
accurate. Like they are literally just the
yes,
best part.
Yeah.
They're
the
giving us what
funniest.
we need.
Yes, the funniest, the most unserious, the ones with the best storylines.
Mm-hmm.
I think casting A with that, with putting those three together on this season to start with and let that continue on.
Yeah.
Um, I think I know a lot of people are like, oh, Leah's white. No, she's Persian, so she
No.
understands some of the discrimination. Now, obviously, she doesn't understand the full concept and full weight and
Sure.
of being a dark skinned woman in America and all that stuff. But she understands like discrimination. She understands like I was like that, and like her line to Liv and Kayla saying, "Don't do white women scared." I'm like,
Yep.
oh,
Mm-hmm. She's very aware.
you get it.
Like
You
this has
understand.
not been your first interaction like this before.
Hmm.
No, absolutely not. So, and that was what really tied me to like, oh, she's Persian, Saw the Sunset, Bravo, Round TV. This is how she acts. Like, so that like fully brought the circle back to fruition. So I don't know. This season, those three girls, these women, I just have been enjoying watching them, and I hope that they get all the brand deals because I know in the U.S. it's not really a brand deal kind of thing, but the UK it is. But I hope that a lot happens for them in terms
Mm-hmm.
of like the Justine and Sallys and all, where they literally are like the face of Love Island. I hope that they
Yeah.
like the next additional face of
I
Love
Mm-hmm.
could see them being friends with Justine and Sully, like easily. I would love to see the five of them
Yeah.
in a little
Listen,
One Direction girl group.
no,
Oh my
actually,
God, I would
no,
live for it.
no, actually, and seeing because I watch After Sun. This is how deep I am. I watch After Sun
I'm
every.
like, I skipped every single one of those.
No, I understand, but I get the concept, get the actual like host and Jackson host, like their perspectives and their views because they see everything. They also know these people and they met them in real life. So, getting to get their viewpoints on that and seeing them root for the three of those three women and seeing literally Sally also root for them. I'm like, you know what? This is gonna they're gonna meet and become besties and sisters, and they're gonna go to LA and hang out with Justine, and they're gonna kumbaya and raft in sunset. That's gonna be great. And Kenny's gonna give Justine a man, and 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 Shelly a man because she's Dominican brothers, and it's gonna be great. It's actually this is listen. I'm thinking this out. Listen, a big break. So I'm excited for
Yeah.
what happens
So we'll see what
Do we
trans.
want to touch upon Rob and Daniela, or we want to
after.
just
Oh,
no? I don't think they're gonna last. Honestly, I haven't finished yesterday's episode, but I'm pretty sure Daniela's gonna be with Harrison. I don't know. That's the vibe I'm getting. I could be wrong, but I just
Don't
don't see
care
them.
enough.
no,
I
no.
want
I
to
told
end on a low note like that after we just
Yeah,
talked about
no,
that's true. You're
no.
right.
Well,
They don't have to.
no, I'll end a joke is that I told the girls, Steph, and Mimi that Rob is just whoever can keep him employed on the tour. So
Oh,
whoever can
yeah.
keep him for the world tour and won't ruin his world tour is
Yeah,
really
he needs somebody to be in the bed with him. That's really what it is.
wants to
Yeah.
be in, especially with that cat, because that post of the 3-4 Casa, there was a situation where like there was a bombshell came in, Cassidy, super sweet little angel. She's very sweet. Hope she comes back for like Live On Games, whatever it is. But literally the night before the recoupling where she chose to be with them, he was like, oh, we had a great chat. Oh my God, I love to get to know you. So she picked him for that. But also, I'm sure the producers have something to do with that because he had no one else in Zilla at that point. But, um, but yeah, Rob, I don't like him. I hope he gets exited out as well. I just, he's very creepy. I don't know. I don't like him. He says things, he says things that are good. But then I think I told both of you guys that he has a tendency of someone who has gone to therapy in order to learn how to use that to learn others. So I don't know. I don't know. Don't like him, but he gives good TV in the sense of just stirring the pot in those senses and also being Aaron. So I think Aaron actually would unalive himself if Rob left. So I don't know. I don't know. I just he's very it's,
Honestly, no, I could see Aaron being like, I will leave if you leave.
no, that's actually like that's his man for life. There's no other I just it's actually so insane how much he cares for Rob more than Taylor because the way he
Yeah,
hears
that
multiple
bulldog came right out of him during movie night. I was like,
multiple
oh, you're upset.
during the season. He has cried for Rob. And when he shed an actual physical tear for Kayla, other than storming off, other than like being, oh, not you know what? Be who you are for your friend is all I gotta say to end my thoughts.
Yeah.
The one thing that I will say about Rob that made me laugh is when he was talking to Daniela, and she was like, "I feel like I like you more," and he's like, "Probably."
Yes. No,
Oh,
she was like, I appreciate you. He's like, I appreciate you. She's like, I appreciate you more. And he was like,
Yeah,
bro. I was
probably.
like,
Robert.
and you are still in this man's face, girl. Like, oh, we picked my girl.
oh, Lord.
So who would we? Okay, I guess let's end on who would we like to see win?
Serena Cadell.
Okay, yeah, I would agree.
I think I
And
would
if
like,
not them, Janae and Kenny.
Agreed.
yeah, I think Serena Cordell just because they both bring so much to the table in terms of personality like that, and we've obviously seen Cordell a lot longer. But Janae is just my girl. I love her so much. So I would want her to win, but she's already gonna win. There's no other like she's winning now. She's going to win post season. So hopefully Serena Cordell um do win
Yeah,
though.
I agree. Well,
Yeah.
this has been a journey. I'm so glad to go
This
through
is
this
so
journey with you
fun.
guys. I don't know who I'm gonna be when Love Island ends. Like, what am I supposed to do with my life? What do you want me to do? But I'm sure that there'll also be like good content after when people come off and like watch
Mhm.
like going on Twitter and all of that and seeing what people have
Mhm.
been saying. I'm sure that there'll be like interesting interviews that happen after.
Yeah.
So we will see. Maybe we'll revisit after the finale because it's supposed to end like next week or something like that.
Yeah,
Really?
in 9 days, I think.
Or the
Oh,
week
wow.
after.
The
Yeah.
21st, last
Yeah.
day. So yeah, and even now there are Islanders who have left. And they've said that there's a lot of producer things that happen. So one islander who I'm gonna say who left, because word from last night, mentioned that he they picked someone for recoupling out of spite from the producers, and that's potentially why something that happened last night happened. I'll tell you on the side.
Yeah,
Yeah,
please.
But yeah,
I'm literally on
no,
the
no, for sure. It's very, but you also gave out the tea of how, the girls apparently allegedly, I mean, they the person who left, they were very much like with a grain of salt because they're very much in their, era of spite and revenge. But they were saying that the OG girls were giving the Casa girls a lot of gripe and the producers had to sit them down. It's like, hey, stop being mean to the Casa girls. Be nice. I was like, yeah, I
Hmm.
guess he lived because the way Liv did not want to say hi to those girls after Casa when
Yeah.
Kayla was say hi and be friendly. So I fully understand that. So, like I said, I am very excited to stalk these people after the season ends and be like, yes, you are still following each other. You are still together. Thank you so, so much. But yeah, I'm excited to see what
Interesting. I can't wait to hear on the side what that was about.
happens. Yes.
But thank you so much, Sasu, for joining us. This has been wonderful.
Yes.
We love you. I love you so much. You're our girls. You're the people's princess. Um, this has been AM and the PM with Selena, Ariel, and Sasu. We love you guys. See you next time. Bye.